a 1200 player, but I guess he will get the job done here.
2 minutes lead on the clock, right? That's enough.
Yeah. So yeah, be interesting to see because Danny has won this event for the last couple of years. So be interesting to see if he.
Wait, Danny has. I thought Keith always claimed to have won this thing.
Oh, sorry, yeah. I meant to say, yeah.
He's playing right
now. Won this event, yeah.
And he's won this game.
Yeah, and he's won this game, so we will. Yeah,
it would have been interesting.
No, I thought it was Keith who'd won this tournament lots of times. It's almost like.
Yeah. Oh, don't want to follow all of this. I mean, we could join that game from the start. Actually, he's not playing a super weak player, so.
Yeah, then it's his own system in the advanced cameras. Well,
sorry, do you know who White is?
Good question, Andrew McGettin. If you know who that is, I don't.
Sorry, no.
I've seen him playing in some opens and things. Yes.
I imagine Keith has had this position a few thousand times.
Yeah, so he's just gone a6 to prevent. So he's threatening to play knight takes c5 without bishop b5 check happening.
Yeah, so queen g3, defend the pawn.
Yeah, well, I can do arrows. That's good. Yeah, queen g3 makes sense here. It's too late.
So Keith been playing from the start. It's into his 6th hour here.
Quite a substantial think for move 9, isn't it? Really, it's kind of
a bit worrying.
Yeah.
I want White to get on with this. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, maybe after knight takes, you can play queen g3 and castle queenside. Is that too much?
Oh, I thought the knight's going to go back to c6. It surprises me. I guess he's just going after the pawn. But
yeah, we've got g7, so strictly speaking, we didn't have to play b4.
Generally, in these things, White should develop fast, right, and exploit the lead in development if Black is given enough time.
I like the aggression.
Yeah.
Hello.
Can we play bishop takes now and then knight takes?
That would be the obvious question. Yeah, that's interesting.
Bishop takes and the decision to bishop takes c3, but it looks a bit risky.
Oh, yeah. After rook c1, you're going to give up that bishop, I guess. Oh, he's played it.
It's not a terribly Keith way to do it. I thought he'd be so happy to have the 2 extra centre pawns that he'd kind of.
Yeah, so I think he played g6 and then he started to basically pre-move bishop g7 and castle.
Okay.
He was a bit perturbed when his opponent pushed the pawn down the board, I think. So, and then you play knight e4, pretending that you've seen it all, and after bishop takes.
White. Thank you, Natasha. White is a shogi player. She plays shogi with him.
So it could be a very strong tactical player. This is not the position that I would want to have, and I think Danny was talking in the previous stream about the how it's very difficult to keep the quality up, and I think the secret for Keith is keeping the games a bit simpler than this. So,
which is usually what he does so well, right? That's kind of usually the hallmark of his style, which seems to me ideal for this kind of tournament. But.
Yeah. So what do we do? Can we castle? We don't lose. We castle here, right?
After HG, how are you taking back?
I think you have to go.
I'll defer that to Keith, but probably with the F pawn.
Queen H3.
Queen H3 or something is pretty unpleasant.
Well, I'm not mated after knight F6.
Well, that might be a good move.
So, do we know how many games Keith's played? So he's been playing pretty much since 5 o'clock. Yeah.
Let's have a look. So he has 46 out of 55.
That's quite a lot of chess, isn't it?
It's 5-0, right? So it's not quick games either.
Yeah, I was.
So noticeably, David Hayden has played a lot more games. He's played 64 games. So I mean, I did play this event a little bit.
Oh wow! What a move!
Ooh. That's very.
So take rook takes c7 is the idea.
Wow.
I would, in my old age, have gone queen c7.
That's a little bit fancy. Oh my word! What's Keith's idea there?
I think he missed rook takes c7.
But
yeah.
surely you have to ask yourself why bishop d8/6.
I guess we assumed that h takes g6 was going to happen. I'm very pleased we started off with this game.
Yeah, I think you
Yeah,
resign and
I'm sure
continue in
Keith is
America.
delighted we did as well.
Thank you, Natasha. The decision took. I've been
Yeah.
following on Twitter.
Yeah, that's a big win.
That is a really nice game.
Bishop
So
D2
can you play
check.
bishop d2 check? Is
yeah,
it?
like
You got to
bishop
try
D2.
bishop d2 check.
Yeah,
I'm surprised he hasn't resigned. In
I think
America.
queen e5 check, and we may see resignation there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Nope.
all right, keep on fighting. I would not be
Sure,
wanting
yeah,
to play
before
this
him.
on. So knight h7 or pawn takes
Yeah.
h.
Should we have a look at a
G6.
different game? Well, this game is over.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Has David Hayden
That's-
taken the lead, or has he always been in the lead?
Yeah, David Hayden has been in the lead pretty much since the start, but it's been
David
interesting to see
Hayden
if
is
he
a pretty
manages
good
to.
blitz player, right? I mean,
Yeah, he's a little bit superficial,
That's a
but
piece.
yeah, that's an extra piece and a bit of a one-sided game anyway.
yeah.
No, I got beaten by Matthew Wadsworth in the first game, but I did manage to get a win against David Hayden at some point.
Okay.
But yeah, this game, and then there's this guy. This is Jude
This is
Shearsby.
Jude Shearsby. Yes.
Yeah, well, I
My
think
former pupil,
is a Hastings or certainly an East Sussex lad as well.
Well, knight takes c6 is the fun move here.
Yeah,
It's an interesting position. At some point, bishop h2 check happened.
yeah.
Gar's a bit of a head here. I'm kind of trying to count the material.
I'm not worrying about material.
You see, I thought you found some shortcut to count it, but you just
Nah.
didn't care, did you?
I don't.
Well,
I
White
understand.
isn't worrying too much about material either. Here,
No, clearly
but,
not. You know,
Yeah.
normally when I see Jude's games, he's on the attacking side of anything crazy going on, but that's where he's most comfortable.
yeah. Oh, I'm not sure about f5.
That's
I'm going to
a
say I
little
was
bit
thinking
loose,
the
isn't
king
it?
was just going to hide on f8 maybe, but
They're playing for us in this game.
they very much are. I'd be very nervous. Is there time to just take the knight on e5? I think. Yeah.
You can't do that. Can
Oh.
you do that? Queen e7 check? What?
King back.
He's hoping to win with a bishop c4 check at some point, but
Everything
If
under
you-
control apparently.
maybe he
So-
can do that. Rook
Rook e3, just bishop c4 check. Can you?
Yeah,
Oh,
and that's an exchange
Yeah.
of queens. Well,
You
that's
can play the
clever.
other
Yeah.
way. King g1.
Yeah,
wow.
There we go.
it's almost like he was listening to you.
Yeah, we should point out if
Not sure it's the best. move.
if you're playing, you shouldn't also be watching the stream afterwards.
Yeah, I was kind of joking there, and then I suddenly realised it might be a bit of a
But now rook e3, right? What's that?
Rook e3, rook
queen
takes
d5. Queen d5, then maybe. Oh,
Queen
queen.
Rook g2 is simpler, right?
Oh, rook g2
Oh, no,
is
it's not. It's not. No. Okay.
This is interesting as well.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's a slightly odd move. I thought he was going to grab pawns.
Yeah, I thought the
Queen
question was
a7, it
whether
defends
A7 or
f2 as well.
E8.
Yeah.
Start pushing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it is worth pointing out that White is.
He's been playing very well for his
1100, so
nominal, 1062 rate.
it's been very impressive. But yeah, I've got
I
to
just see
imagine
so many people with low ratings playing well these days. I just kind of stopped looking at ratings somehow. But yes, you're right, of course.
I think.
Oh, there we go.
In the pressure.
And-
That was
And
it.
we have
that-
the mate on
Worth
H1.
move on the board.
gosh.
Yeah. Oh, still another entertaining game there.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
Let's have
Tom,
a
you're
look.
drifting down to 42nd.
I am drifting all the way down. What was my score? 12 out of 14. Not disgraceful.
Not too shabby. Is
That's
Danny
pretty
playing
good.
at the moment?
Oh,
That's the improvement.
it's a good question. Oh,
Let's have a look at this one.
so this is Gregor.
Okay.
Toshak.
Yes, one of these.
Yeah, I've definitely played him in these events before. He's quite tricky.
Well, he's tricky enough at classical, I think, so he's kind of probably very tricky at this.
Yeah, so white's threatening some combination of knight b4 and capturing on a2 here. So
Yes.
So
we go rook a4 here, maybe,
Knight b4,
and king d6.
and then I think it's important to rook b takes a2.
Yeah,
The other rook allows some pretty tactic.
Presumably after knight b4, after rook a4, you could take on a2 immediately, right?
Yeah, that was simpler as well.
yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure
Surprised
about
me to
that.
change that one. Given the pass pawn.
So is the idea to go king c5, king d4?
If you throw in the check,
Well, depends on what,
you
yeah.
come back again, like king d6 or something.
Yeah.
King d4 feels like f3.
No, I was thinking against knight d3 check, king d4. But
and then rook b4 mate.
yeah, exactly. So white is pressing in this ending, but
White should just be winning, but like it's a useful extra tempo.
yeah, still plenty of time. Rook c5 looks like it's going to be pretty
Rook
much game
c7 is
over.
also not bad. Yeah, both of rook c5 now is very strong. That's true.
Rook c5, I guess we go rook a2 check at least. Just continue to be irritating.
Yeah, that's true.
Throw in g4 check.
Rook b2 is one way to deal with that, I guess.
Yeah, there's no real rush here. Kind of like knight c5, knight e4, or knight f2 will do it.
Yeah.
Have to bring the king back. King e6, king d5. So close enough.
Yeah.
Walk into some mating net. Can't quite see it there.
Yeah, you're starting to run a little bit low on pawns after g4 here, but
But g4 could have been played a long time ago
yeah.
to exchange it.
This rook is
One
still
pawn is sufficient.
slightly strangely placed. I always hate these endings without an increment.
Yeah, Blitz, this is quite tough, I think. This is not easiest.
So I guess you take and play e4 or d3 check. Okay.
Yeah, maybe
pawn on
d3. And then king, yeah.
Oh, d3 check.
King f2. Mm.
And e4 check. Not sure it's winning anymore.
King d4 then you. Oh, okay.
No, it
I
doesn't
think
find
just
e4.
continue pushing.
Go king g2. Cool. Yeah.
How much of rook and knight versus rook are we going to watch?
Yeah. I mean, all of it. I mean, least it
I
can
would
only go.
prefer not to have the h5 game.
I was going to say this is one of the ones where h5 makes it a bit trickier, right?
Yeah.
No, it's very tricky.
But white's the one that's behind on the clock. So, what's your prediction? You think white will win this?
Yeah, knight g5. Now rook f3 check.
I think black will hold the draw here.
And now it's a draw. Oh, we've had this position 3 times.
Okay.
If the knight gone the other way, I think it was winning.
So what we're talking about this position
No,
here.
knight g5 was winning, you think, yeah?
Knight
At least
g5,
from a
yeah.
practical point of view, I don't see. We're just with knight f3 and king f2.
Yeah, no, that does look. Oh gosh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And after,
You have to go rook a8.
if you go h4 after all of that,
So what? So take me through that.
no,
Knight g5.
Knight g5.
well, then, okay. Gosh.
Knight g5.
I think rook a8 is probably what you should play. Keep
Yeah.
checking from that side.
Yeah. And then
So king f4, you go back
King F4,
again.
you just go
King
back
f2,
check,
you
yeah.
go rook a2 check.
yeah.
Yeah, this
fair
should
enough.
still hold, shouldn't it? With a bit of
Yeah, but in a blitz game, you feel it's
Yeah, no, I wasn't.
too tricky.
Yeah. So in answer to your question, Keith, Danny doesn't seem to still be playing.
Okay.
We haven't had a look at the sniper.
Well, he did
Ooh.
commentary a couple of hours ago, or an hour ago. So Tom,
What
he
was
was
this?
commentating most recently, so probably he had a break.
So we did have some kind of pure sniper.
Oh wow, this is really the sniper match.
Yeah.
a good version of the.
Yeah.
He's done well to get the current position.
Yeah, let's just get up with the current possession. So white's a lot better here.
Yeah.
But it's not so obvious how to continue. He wants to go bishop a3.
I quite like bishop b2 actually. That's quite nice. That's quite a nice move.
Rook e4 to d4 would be my choice, I think. Just triple.
Yeah, I wondered if black was just going to go h4 and meet bishop a3 with queen c6, but not so sure about c3. I definitely want to go h4 and just hope here, but
c3 was so ugly. Poor bishop. It's back
now
again.
we have time to move the knight. Suddenly, I guess knight d5.
Oh, big time advantage.
Yeah. Oh, there's some scariness happening with queen h8. Is queen c3 legal?
No, queen h8 and take the queen. Oh, sorry, I'm losing.
No, I'll take it. Yeah.
You're going to take my queen when I go there. Aha, that was interesting.
I didn't see the refutation, at least.
Yeah. So white's back on top, but it feels like a lot to do in 20 seconds here.
Especially without queens. Knight c4.
That's why it's completely winning now, but
Yeah.
15 seconds is not enough.
He's going to need a very, very strong pre-move game.
Bishop b4 and push the a pawn.
Yeah. G7, bishop b2, bishop b2. Well, he's playing it nicely.
To collect a lot of pawns.
Yeah.
Not that way. Yeah, I think that was the last chance.
Yeah, I think so too. Oh, it's a shame. Quite a decent game from Tagulo. One of the Ukrainian players joining us.
Being flagged by the English school.
Yeah. So in the old days, you'd be expected to offer a draw in these kind of situations with black, but it doesn't seem to happen anymore.
No, it's online chess.
Yeah, it's a bit sad watching someone lose on time.
Yeah, it's quite tough, isn't it?
Yeah, there we go. Okay. Oh, was that
Matthew
was
Wadsworth?
that going to be Matthew Wadsworth against the sniper? How's he going to handle it?
So, is it going to be a Benoni, or is he going to try and keep away?
So what do you think about black giving up the light square bishop this quickly?
Well, in general, in the Benoni, that's the problem piece, so makes sense. Objectively, I think white was better against anything in this move order.
Yeah, so black seems to be going for b5, but
yeah, the problem with the exchange of the light square bishop so quickly is that e7, e6 is quite hard to achieve. Aggressive.
Yeah, so we're going to end up getting. Can we play sort of a4 and then eventually e5 takes an f5? Is that the thematic way?
That's
of
certainly
playing
one
it?
of the things, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very difficult for black to get any pawn breaking anymore, I think.
I would probably play e6 and.
Well, yeah, no, I would probably sack a pawn and try and play knight d4 and stuff. That's the way.
The knight was.
But I actually thought he was going to do that a couple of moves ago. I'm not sure White's committed any sins since then to encourage it.
Yeah. Well, that is really asking for e5.
Yeah, doesn't it feels like neither player really wants to do anything. Ooh,
Ooh, Matthew,
yeah,
play
that's not a
e5
pawn that
first.
you push. That is, I guess there's
I mean,
mates.
if the attack on h7 is strong enough, then the knight can never get near e5 anyway, right? So,
Yeah, he's probably just mating him, but still.
yeah, I think it's kind of, you think it's an aesthetic way to deliver mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like your principle.
It might be mating, but
So how do we mate? If bishop h6, there's bishop d4 check all the time. I'm not so sure about this.
they have time to play rook f1. Just bring everything in.
Yeah,
But even then, how do you finish off?
it's
Let's play
irritating that we don't have
h5.
time to play knight e5.
I suppose now bishop h6.
That's true.
Yeah,
Probably
it feels
good
like we're going to
advice,
see
just
bishop h6 and rook f1, or an e, queen to h6 and an e5 knight e4 trick or something. But where's the counterplay here? Is it too late to play e6?
There's really nothing positive about black's position here.
Yeah.
The dark square bishop, I suppose, potentially. But
That was Gawain sugarcoating it as well.
Well, we sack the exchange here, right? Knight takes b5, or we're sacrificing a rook, aren't we? Oh,
Yep. Are you?
no, it's only the exchange.
It's only the
It's only
exchange.
it's only the
actually rather
exchange. Sorry, yeah.
Good way to play, I think.
Yeah,
Take
I
with
think
bishop.
yeah,
here, though,
almost
and then-
compulsory.
I would have taken with bishop and then just attacked. I think with bishop h6.
Yeah, so now we're on f1 and the 4 pawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit awkward, actually. Rook f4 feels very awkward.
Look at for this g5.
There is. That's one of the reasons it looks so awkward. Yeah.
Yeah. But now is black suddenly better after knight takes e4?
No. Still the exchange for a pawn down, and white has quite active pieces.
Fair enough.
If he played f5,
Unless-
was like going g4 or something. I wondered why. Oh, it's just too weak.
Very possibly.
But yeah, probably f5
Yeah.
is a better move.
Yeah, it'd be nice to be able to play a move like queen c4 here, but then bishop takes f6,
Yeah,
and
I'd say
that's a nasty pin. So
I don't know what white's threat is here, but difficult to make a move as black as well. No,
It's always worrying if you've given up material for dynamic counterplay and you can't find a move. It's a bad sign.
yeah,
Queen d7, okay.
Time to go back, queen h4. Or just play h3 and play it slowly. Queen h4.
come on, queen h4 has to be the move here.
Okay. b4, wow.
I don't like that. Can you
What's his plan with the pawn takes?
take on
Is there
d5?
not knight takes d5?
And queen b3 or something?
Yeah, and then e6. And you're going to take on f7.
I was,
Yeah.
but am I? Yeah, and I can go check and queen d7 or something, yeah, after queen b7, check and queen d7, something like that.
Mm.
Knight back to e7. It's obviously still unpleasant for black. But
Now f5, okay.
So he's just intending to hide the king on f7 after rook h3 here.
Yes.
dragon
that's-
elements.
Yeah, the king's kind of safe
Oh,
after this e6.
that looks risky
I'm
then.
not sure. Queen h7 check and rook h6.
Yeah, this
Yeah, I was
looks...
kind of expecting him to play it via the other
I think
move
he had to
order.
play king f7 immediately, didn't he? Oh, rook h6, surely not.
Yeah, rook
Yeah.
h6 was
Yeah.
the end.
Okay,
Rook
but still,
g3 is-
rook g3 is decent too. Yeah?
then knight has to go back to e7.
Ah, sorry. Okay, that's-
What was played here? Oh yeah, rook g3, knight e7.
So do you have time for h4, h5?
Apparently,
Find out.
Matthew thinks so. So queen b5. Let's again be irritating.
Queen
I guess.
a4 or queen b5?
If queen a4, we can play h5 anyway, maybe.
And
Just going rook h6.
so again. So queen h4 check. No, at least you're not on G6 anymore.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's the link for donating in chat. It's a point to mention what this marathon is in aid of.
Absolutely. So I think this is the third year that we've had this charity marathon for raising money for the British Red Cross for Ukraine.
I think it's fair to say that each time it's happened, we were hoping it would be the last year. Right? But
Yeah,
Yeah.
very definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm
Black
trying to
seems to have
play it.
survived here. You know, a
Yeah.
long way behind on the clock, but
But probably that's a
yeah,
good
I'm
move.
going to cover
Most
B7, so
better. But
Queen C6 or something. Maybe Queen C6. The other rook comes across to
still look
B3.
B3 or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or look A3 perhaps.
Yeah, as good as Black's position looks, his king is still very weak. So, yeah.
you need to be able to play D6 to D7, and then the position is playable. Oh, we can just the other knight.
That's
We
the
can
horse,
just
yeah.
take that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the end of that one. Yeah, Matthew seemed to be in
Rook takes
control,
D6.
but yeah.
Yeah, but Charlie was kind of fighting at times more than I thought he would be. Oh, that's a nice finish. Okay.
Yeah. So rook takes, rook b7 check, king h6, and queen h8, mate. So,
Not a
yeah.
position you want with 8 minutes to give checkmate, 8 seconds to give checkmate. But
No.
But that, yeah, the other way around.
You play king g8 and hope they pre-moved queen h8 here, right? But
they
always
lose
play-
on time.
Well, yeah. Okay, let's go searching down. If there's anyone in particular you'd like to follow. Is one of your students I saw was going to stay up and maybe play this tournament, Peter?
Yeah, I don't know what his chess.com handle is. He's actually one of my newest, a very new student. I've seen him for a couple of weeks in a group so far. But I hope he was allowed to stay up. He's very enthusiastic. But I don't know what his handle is.
Okay.
I don't see any signs of it.
Yeah.
Knights versus bishops.
Yeah.
Oh, this is Jude again. Yeah?
Yeah. So Jude playing white and against someone, I'm not sure who that is, black, but quite a reasonable.
Jude is a former pupil, so I'll claim that's close.
Yeah. So knight e4. I guess we go bishop f8 here. Keep this pawn covered.
I was thinking bishop c6, but I guess bishop f8 is a more principled move.
Just checking that there's no silly moves.
Yeah, the bishop is covering the e8 square. So
Yeah.
let's try and get those tricks to work. Probably c4 here. Try and cement those knights.
I like c4 a lot.
I like c4 too, but after bishop f8, I mean, how easy is it to cement the guys?
Need another trick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bishop f8 is very calm.
Wow, I'm not going to be at my sharpest. 10 o'clock is definitely a bedtime for me. Yeah, but I like how white is playing this. I like what Jude is doing.
Yeah.
I thought that black had a comfortable advantage, but those knights are now.
So
e7 was a bit scared. I thought he was going to take on e4 and kind of.
Yeah, then you've got that bad bishop on f8. So
Yeah, that's not all.
So I guess queen h6. Don't go bishop f8 here. That'll definitely lead to disaster.
Yes, no.
finally get rid of one of those
Oh,
knights.
knight takes c5. Knight d takes c5. Yep, there we go. Probably find that loses coordination, but it looks pretty initially.
Yeah, take on e4, take on c4. Doesn't actually win any material.
Oh dear!
that one
Oh
doesn't
dear!
actually-
Oh dear! That's going to speed
Well,
things up a bit.
Yeah, very odd. But yeah, I liked how G played that. So yeah.
Within is watching, reading the chat, and hello, Chris, has joined in the chat.
Oh, Chris, hi.
Are you playing, Chris? What we've got here?
So we've got,
Keith Ending.
Oh, Frankie.
yeah.
Keith and Frankie.
I think Frankie is one of the commentators taking over at 11 o'clock, so
He is,
he's not resting up before his commentary slot.
What's going on here?
C5 would suggest.
Yeah. So that your old-fashioned pawn count.
I guess knight A4 again, but it doesn't feel. Or king C3. Yeah.
But the king is coming round now. King C6. Okay, well this way.
Very calm.
Prophylaxis against knight A4. I kind of like that.
Yeah, we're gonna maybe have time to start pushing over here a little bit.
We don't like that at all, Keith.
Yeah,
H5.
now we're going H5 for sure.
Yeah, how are you thinking this one? H4.
H4.
I suppose you can stop it on H2, but
You're going to lose a knight
there's no
for it.
counterplay either.
Bishop G4 to F3 must be.
Yeah.
You turn
Yeah,
right.
it's just going over.
I just say, yeah, H3, H2, and then win the pawn on A5 and have fun.
Or
Yeah.
Many roads here.
Nicely played ending. I really liked Bishop D7 just covering this A4 square.
Provoking G3, allowing the passed H pawn.
is king
Absolutely.
D5 the most precise now?
So I mean, it is White's move. I guess White's going to play pawn takes pawn here,
Oh,
but
is this White's move? Sorry.
I thought he
Yeah.
was going to take on E4.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I think
King D5 is after takes, is what I meant.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, yeah. And that is very strong.
yeah, King D2, we can even go C3 check if we want to, but
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, Keith's just playing moves for no particular reason, but I always thought he was very practical in these tournaments usually, and he would resign and get on to the next game quite quickly, but
there we go.
yeah.
Well done, Frankie.
Yeah, very, very nice. Okay, who have
How many games has Frankie played? Is he sort of serious contender?
I guess
Hold on,
not.
that was
19 and a half.
It's a pretty good score, isn't it? But it's a few games.
Yeah.
And Stanley the same, perhaps.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen Stanley, but
I thought.
If they're commentating
Yeah.
until midnight, then they might be intending a full night's session.
Yeah. Stan Bad, I assumed, was Stanley, no?
okay. Let's see if we can have a look at this. Oh, this game
Find
doesn't
out
seem
who
to go very
Chess
far,
It's streaming.
which is unfortunate.
What's going on here?
I don't know
Why
because
is
I
that
can't see.
Scotland?
Seems like there's some kind of bug and we can't see the
I think
game.
it's
'cause
trying to
it-
tell us we should be elsewhere.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay, I'm not sure who this is, but
But it's a great name. And GEM.
so we've got two WFMs playing each other
WFMs,
here.
okay.
Yeah.
So we can't go. Oh, we can go Rook C3 and then takes.
Rook D6,
Jorosa.
Rook D6, then
Which is-
Bishop B5.
which is just as well for black in a sense, because it would have been quite awkward otherwise.
I'm not sure what we're doing after Bishop B5 at the end. Unfortunately.
Okay.
Knight E6 and to D4 and to E2.
Yeah. I mean, black has to try this anyway. Rook takes C1 and giving up the C file looks.
But that's quite
Very,
awkward,
very
isn't it?
unpleasant.
96 is actually very tricky to meet.
Yeah, I think B4 was quite a big strategic mistake. Right? Well, it was a lot
I
better.
mean, I can
It's
see
more
why
like a
White's
tactical
wanting it
mistake.
all.
Is if you don't have Rook C3, then it's probably a good move.
Yeah,
So
well, still.
she's got away with it by the
better with 1 and B2.
Rook C7
Yeah.
is now strong. Or Bishop b5.
Probably doesn't change too much here, but yeah, rook c7 is coming in very, very soon. I guess knight
We'll
e6
have to
now.
try knight e6 to keep it out now. Yeah, probably rook c8 or something. Rook c8 is another good way to invade.
Yeah.
Yes, it's quite peculiar, right, with the double D pawns. Trying to figure out how.
Seems very difficult to regain coordination somehow. Rook c6 is... Oh no, rook d6 again, okay.
Yeah.
Does that knight ever have a good circuit? How does it find a way?
Well, not if we want to cover the c7 square, but...
Oh, g5 might be an attempt to give it a circuit. Oh, I thought she was going to go knight takes g5, knight f7, knight d6 or something.
Yeah, but then
maybe that doesn't help either.
Coming.
So rook d6.
D6 has to be, no?
It's a tricky ending, this.
It is.
I think I'd exchange rooks.
Oh, really? That's
Well,
a shame. I thought white was still
Yeah,
reasons to be pressing, but okay.
yeah, I guess after you've played 20 games, perhaps you don't fancy this ending quite so much, but
I quite understand.
but yeah, certainly I think at this point here, going rook into c7 was probably the really big chance.
Considering the only time in my life I played a 24-hour blitz, I fell asleep in and exchanged Lopez at 5:30 in the morning. I have no lecturing to anybody on what they mean.
Okay, that's
By the way, that's a very bad opening to play at 5:30 in the morning. I can
is that Rich playing Worcester York? Richard
Worcester
Palliser.
York. That's it.
Oh, is it? Oh, and Richard Bates is there as well.
Sorry, where was Worcester York? I lost.
Yeah, I don't know where his name's gone now, but I thought I saw it there.
Ah, here we go.
Scrolling.
Oh, he's playing at 1300. If you, yeah. Sorry, this game looks reasonably exciting.
Sorry, check this 4 is.
That's Richard Pert.
Oh, is it? Okay. I was trying.
And we have some sort of Queen's Gambit accepted. Wow. What?
Yeah, I guess that's a mouse slip with knight h7. Was
It's
intended.
less interesting now.
Oh, ouch. That's
Yes.
yeah. Yes.
I wonder if they're having a discussion about whether or not to have a take back. Oh,
Yeah.
Richard has generously.
And now you play knight e4, and you've gained a huge amount.
So, what do you have to play knight g8 in order to? Well, I guess knight g8 d5 is pretty ugly. I guess knight e4 d5 is also.
I was going to say
quite-
1945 might still, but I'm sure that's
yeah,
a piece
maybe
of
knight
generosity,
e6.
nonetheless.
Okay, yeah.
Something weird seems to be happening. We somehow lost.
It's to be generous, but I don't understand anything now.
No, I don't
We may have
understand.
come here at the wrong moment
Okay,
as well.
let's move away from this game as well. Let's see if it's obviously telling me I should have looked at Worcester.
So you said
Chess.
Richard Bates is playing as well.
Yes, I
Yeah.
just
Richard Bates is playing up over here. This looks
Seem to
reasonably
have a
winning.
lot
We'll take and play
That's a rook.
d8. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, fancy. And now you take the other rook. There's no need to rush, Queenie.
Okay.
96.
Take some 90. Well, there's the bishop.
Oh, 96. Oh,
96. Oh, yeah.
It's a lot of extra material.
Oh, I was hoping for mate, but yeah. Okay.
Peter Unspotted Wolf Hall on your bookshelf.
Yeah. Yes, there's lots of good stuff on my bookshelf. I forgot to organise them so you could see all the right things. That's good stuff.
Oh. Okay, so we've got.
There's even there's a book of yours just above it, Gawain. It was very modest
Yeah.
of you to mention Wolf Hall.
well placed.
Exactly. What's
So we have some sort of exchange sacrifice. I guess, yeah, bishop a3 is going to be...
Lucky extra rook on h8.
I guess the queen doesn't have so many squares. We're going to see rook h6 coming in.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, looks like black is surviving here.
Yeah.
I guess there's the sense in which getting the rook to a6 is only the first stage of its career. Really, it's kind of still have to activate things. Queen f3 or something.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
queen
Rich will
f3 or
come
maybe
on to
bishop a3 at some point. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, is there not bishop h7 check?
There
Oh,
was.
yeah. He's a bit careless.
Preferred the undermining.
Yeah, bishop d5 is the move of someone who's just realised that there's
Bishop
bishop h7
c4.
check as well.
Playable, right?
It's beautiful.
Yeah, and it threatens e4.
But b5, I've ended that pawn back on a5.
The great thing about it is that being playable is only one of its many qualities.
So you're trying to set up a bishop c4.
Trying to set
attack
up a bishop
somewhere.
c4. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean-
so I guess rook a1. Rook is still on h6, so very much not continuing its career.
Yeah, I
so
think
far.
it's still quite difficult for black to sort of show his extra material.
But now at least you have the h7 square, so you can go rook h8, king h7, rook h d8, king back to g8, and finally you've got all your pieces.
Those are the things you gain by being a King's Indian player. It's those
I
little
didn't like the
contortions. Yeah. No, I like it.
So is there bishop b3 knocking? Or is that
Oh,
just unnecessary?
No, I think it's probably a very good idea if you can do it, which you can.
So I thought white was doing quite well here. With the queen
Yes,
side.
I thought. Hello, you missed it. Okay. Oh, maybe rook a7 was an issue. And the rook on g6 is going where after queen
I guess,
h5?
I guess it's being defended, but that's
But maybe then bishop c4.
yeah. It's a very old game.
Yeah.
Oh, he's having that pawn. It does feel quite strong for white after bishop b6. All of a sudden.
Yeah.
Can
Do we know who
play
white
queen
is?
f3?
Who's CM?
Queen e2 or queen f3, yeah.
Oh, Ken
Kenneth
Hobson.
Hobson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, that's worth knowing his.
I'm slightly intrigued that this was the Ware opening Meadow Hay mistake.
Oh, yeah, what was the mistake?
I feel like that's a basis for further research.
I think we'll investigate after the game.
Yeah, exactly.
So g5 to prevent f4.
Rook
here.
f5. Rook f1's a slightly odd move, given that black has g5. I think
Yeah. Could have started with
if
f4.
he didn't have it, then it would make a lot of sense.
So yeah, I mean white's played quite interesting chess, but has drifted a long way behind on the clock.
I see these
Preston
juniors;
Ware.
they just can't keep up with the pace.
Trying to play proper chess.
An unusual complaint. I like it when people try and play proper chess.
Yeah. Oh, so he's going.
Changing a pair of rooks is almost always wrong in these kind of things. I would have thought for white.
Ooh. Rook a1 is a classical move.
It is. Oh,
You like
h1.
king
Huh? Okay.
Yeah, rook h1. Yeah.
Richard's wrapped this one up now. Can we see what opening the
Yes.
mistake is?
Oh, so.
Oh, for goodness sake.
It's this.
So I mean, you're aware of this, right?
Oh wow! So when we said white sat the exchange somewhere, we were sort of thinking at some plausible point in the early middle game. Wasn't it?
Yeah.
This was played in some big match between some GM and Daniel Nowitzki, I think, in Bullet
Okay.
Chess.
Yeah, was
and
it?
White scored very, very heavily. And
Did
his
Richard play
account was
H5 here? Because if so, is that what I'm reading? That gives
Yeah.
it the respect it deserves, I think.
Then
H5.
Magnus played it
H4.
with both colours, didn't he, in a Title Tuesday?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Straight after.
Oh, it's rather unfortunate. This is established opening theory, but okay. Well, we can take and play Rook G2 here, so not
So
even
close.
flicking in the chat.
Just one tempo.
But yeah, so some interesting. I mean, that yeah, interesting.
That was-
I don't know what to say about that.
It's very difficult to find a comment on that opening. I think the most
Okay.
interesting comment is what you already said. The fact that it has a name is a sign of the times. Oh, is that?
Is Keith playing Aga?
Yeah, Aga's playing Keith. That would be worth tuning into.
Oh, that is not the position you want.
No,
That is
this
what's called a bad bishop. I think I've seen this position in books, but without these two pawns, and it's still completely winning for black.
Yeah.
So,
I think the interesting one is without the knight. What the assessment is.
Yes. Okay, but it's
Yeah.
nice to see Keith doing what Keith does. We've seen 2 of his losses. It's good to see.
It's used
Yeah.
almost 50 seconds.
oh, so he's gonna. We want to see knight H1 followed by resignation. That's the
Yeah.
way to do it.
Yes.
The pride move.
Queen eating dragon. That's good.
Queen eating dragon. Yeah,
I was it's just the name, really.
yeah.
It's a very rational looking position, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, grown up Philidor.
Where mistakes.
Exactly. Oh,
Yeah.
that's
C5. Not sure.
I'm not sure. Do you need C5? I mean,
Yeah, it's kind
the
of
floor's pretty tempting as well.
C4s look so ugly. It's not a bad move.
No, that's right.
That's a good move.
Yeah, so we can't play C5 because of
Yeah,
Queen
the fact
D2.
that we can't play C5 means maybe C4 actually is a bad move.
Where are you? I
Yeah,
think
Queen D2 I was about to suggest, and then
Queen C7.
Queen C7.
I thought maybe I had to play C5 anyway, even as a pawn sacrifice. Just
Yes.
that poor bishop on F1. That's a
So
very-
H4 maybe, or King H2 and G3.
Go back playing on the king's side. I was desperate to stop that knight getting to C5.
Hmm. King F7 is very calm. So
Precursor to G5, H5, G4. Bring the king round to B8 first.
Okay, but you can kind of play G3 and H4 now, yeah?
Yeah.
Which is not so.
yeah, it's only really the Queen side that's a really big problem for White here.
So you're saying everything's fine apart from one whole side of the board. There's no kind way to say that, is there?
Apart from the D4, B4, and A4 squares. And maybe the E4 square.
I mean, as soon as you can play H4, we can dream of something. You have to play H4 instantly here and hope for some sort of weakness.
Some knight F5 isn't totally ridiculous, right? I don't know.
This looks a bit more defensive.
That is a bit more defensive. I was hoping White was going to go on the attack. You can't really be a defensive queen-eating dragon, can you?
Knight B3.
H4 still feels like the essential move for White. Oh, Bishop
It's Bishop
H5.
H5 though.
Bishop H5, that's worth a go. Yeah, that's
Then there's suddenly Knight F5.
That bishop's back in the game.
this is the moment where all your positional niceties suddenly. Knight F5?
Yeah, he's coming round
Yeah,
this way.
very awkward.
Uh,
Clever.
So we can play c5 now, but this is also strong.
Finally, time for c5.
I wondered if we could go queen e2, but maybe it's only enough for a draw anyway. Because
Yeah, black gets time to play.
Yeah.
A1.
Sorry, why was? I mean, you could go takes knight h4. No, wasn't that very
Yeah,
strong?
very straightforward.
Yeah.
The knight d6 check is coming now, right? So you can even
Yes.
Yeah, just queen f2 here.
Queen f2 first.
Queen
take it.
f2 and offer them the e4 pawn.
with knight d6 check.
Yeah.
Not very offered.
Yes.
I was thinking queen c3, but actually that's probably a mistake, right? Because
Whatever Rendell's bearing gifts, if that's your offer. Yeah, queen f2 is nice. Okay.
It seems like exactly the kind of pawn black is going to take, but
It's been a fairly horrific turnaround, actually, isn't it? From the sort of,
Yeah.
and
Black plays sensibly as well, and suddenly.
yeah, actually, bishop e2 was very clever because it just looked like you had to play h4 positionally, but suddenly, when black played what looked positionally indicated, it's a nightmare.
Already the pawn wasn't defendable, right?
Queen f4. Okay, so
yeah. So we win the piece here, and then it's maybe not so easy, especially with the time situation again. So
oh, took the bishop. That's a nice touch.
yeah, again with this king being a little bit open, it's never so easy to quite finish this off.
Queen
Yeah,
d2.
black is fighting well here.
Yeah.
Queen
I like to
d2.
go
Where's that
h4.
pawn going after queen d2? Is it?
King c7.
Take on a5.
Yeah, I like h4. Just
Yeah, I
some-
like h4 too. I got h4 and queen d2 in, in the next couple
Maybe
of
queen
moves.
d2, knight d4 was playable. Still trying to exploit that weak second rank.
Going for the
I
old
wonder if that
h.
was the idea of putting pawn h5.
That's a very cute way to do it. Actually.
Yeah, because he's also sort of mating as well with.
Yeah. So yes. And that again was probably the most practical move, right?
Yeah, so we should just go h6 and keep on pushing. Yeah. 24 seconds left, though.
Getting a bit random.
Yeah, I'm not sure about these checks. I'd cut the queen on the second
No,
rank.
there's queen d2, queen h6. I think this is going to end badly for.
King b6, no more checks.
Yeah.
After all that,
Well,
black is
yeah,
h6.
after all that, it's ending badly.
So I'm not sure. I guess we have time to start looking at another game, and then we're going to be replaced in a minute or two, I guess.
Hello. Okay, I can see
Sorry,
Stanley
sorry.
here already. Let's let Stanley on. Hello, Stanley. We don't see you.
This game's still not over. Queen d7.
Yeah.
Nice.
Get perpetual kind of things.
Hello, Stanley. Right.
We've been joined by the youth now as well.
Yeah. Even playing in the event.
I looked at the chat for a moment. Now suddenly the position is completely different. I don't understand what happened.
So someone's going to lose on time, and it'll probably be white, but
Yes.
Yeah, black is with over a minute against 9 seconds. Suddenly, it's a no, it's not a draw. Queen d8 doesn't quite work.
it's probably worth a try anyway.
You hear me?
Hello, Frankie.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. We just got one game finishing.
Sure.
I think that white's going to win.
Well, nice
Queen
easy
e3,
check.
queen
You can play the check.
Yeah.
Well,
There we
Right,
go.
well,
The
said
Saga
White was
game,
going
that
to lose on time. The fact was, if they carried playing at the same rate, then White was just going to win on time. White was very good at the speed stuff. That was a very strange game. I'm glad we saw that. That was kind of
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. Right. Oh, well, a big thank you to Gawain, Tom, and Peter. That was really, really
You're welcome.
lovely. Thank you. for
Get rid of the old guys, bring on the young ones.
Bring on the youngsters.
Probably get some
Yeah.
audience for
Yeah.
that.
Hello, Stanley. Hello, Frankie. And you've both been playing chess today and then playing in the arena, is that right? Or you've got a tournament tomorrow?
I've been playing in
Yes.
the arena, yeah.
Yeah.
We saw your game with Keith. You played nice.
Thanks
finish.
a lot. Thanks, yeah.
Yeah, it was a good game.
Is that Kenneth
Okay,
as well?
thanks very much. Cheers.
Right. Thank you. Thanks. Sleep well, you
All right.
guys.
Bye, everyone.
Have a fun stream. Bye bye.
Thanks a lot.
Enjoy the rest.
Right. Hello, you three. Now, Stanley,
Hi.
you're going to share your screen. I think we are live. You all ready to share your chess.com, Stanley? Stanley screen joined. Hello, Stanley screen. There we go. Okay. Anything you need, or shall I leave you three to it?
I think we're all right.
You're all right. Okay, I'm going to go, but I'm in the background here if you need anything. Okay, have a good stream.
All right, guys. I say we start at the top and we can work our way down. Who's leading at the moment? Oh wow. Okay. He's way ahead. I guess we can start with someone at the top. We can watch Jude.
Yeah, that's fine.
Mhm. Okay, who's he playing? 1000. Yeah. Funny thing is about this tournament is no matter where you are, like you can play literally anyone. Like he's playing someone with 27, 1000.
I think that's how
Snap.
chess.com do their pairings.
No, we can't hear you.
Hi, you okay? I'll hide your screen there, Stanley, because it was showing not the chess anymore. Get rid of that. Oh, I've got rid of. Whoops.
I think he's trying to rejoin.
I did kick, but I actually kicked Stanley off by mistake. Which
Can you
wasn't
hear me? Just
trying to do.
Yeah, we can hear you. It's just
Okay,
him.
thanks.
Yeah.
Yes. We're going to need to wait for Stanley to rejoin because I just booted him off.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, Stanley.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, yeah,
Okay,
touch
yeah.
on the screen again. And when it gives you the option, I would say share your window.
Window. Okay, sure.
That's what I would do. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Mix it up.
There you go. I'm going to head off again.
All right. This is quite a big match. This is Alexander Matlak.
Mhm. Do you know who that is?
Yeah, I've played him a few times.
Mhm.
He's quite strong.
Yeah, I remember I played him when he was 0 rated and got quite surprised by how good he was.
Knight
Oh,
F7. All right, it's getting sharp.
Can't really go E4 because of 96.
He's taking H8 and then. Seems black's kind of escaping, right? You're like one move too slow.
Yeah.
Like King D8, King C7 somehow.
Yeah, you don't allow any rookie one tactics.
I feel like you might just be like, probably not getting mated, but it looks ugly.
You've got
Probably
really
worse
good
than
material.
this one. 95.
Okay, but now just G6, and now you're like your knight's going to get trapped. Bishop G7.
Yeah,
Because the knight
he's in
covers
trouble now.
that 7 square.
Yeah, I'm not sure about Queen H5.
Has Jude been playing the whole time since it started?
Well, pretty much most of it.
185.
Yeah. But he's actually ahead of Keith, but Keith's also playing. And so is David.
Well,
They're
Keith-
all playing at the moment.
Keith wins it by like not winning more than half the games. He loses
Yeah.
most, but he just plays 24 hours.
Yeah. Like eventually the others are going to end up going on a break because he's done this so many times. He often he's won it the last few times as well. So
it's just going to be 2 pieces for the rook, but just completely dominating, right?
yeah. Kenneth, I
A4.
saw you played the Brandon Jacobson line in the last game. You were on the stream. They watched your game.
Yeah, I was just sort of
A3.
doing random stuff.
It's quite fun.
I played that in every single game I played, but
Oh, really?
yeah, I didn't play much. Only 20 games or something like that.
What was your score with it?
Can't remember how many wins I got. Like 11 or something. This is not that good.
Yeah, A4, A5 seems a bit desperate, to be honest.
Yeah. There's just no attack for white. You don't even have to take the knight. It's not going
Yeah, he's
anywhere.
leaving it.
Maybe
He's on.
knight d2 or something to try.
Maybe there's some sort of weird tactics. You can just play knight d3. Okay, well,
Oh,
it's kind of unnecessary. You had
kind of
knight
makes
d3.
sense. It's quite a natural move.
You could play knight d3 and just win e1, and then you're gonna
Yeah.
go off a piece. Okay, what?
Maybe knight f7 at some point and just
Yeah.
deflect everything.
You know, just take that knight because the
What was
knight
that?
f7. He just took a pawn.
What
Knight
would
takes
be-
d4.
Okay, we can probably leave this game. Seems
Yeah, I
pretty.
think
pretty
black
convincing.
will win this. We've got any other games going on? I don't know. We can look at Story Sniper.
All right.
Saying
He's been playing all day.
yeah. Happy Hansen. Don't know, this German.
All right, what's going on?
I might know who it is because there's Hansen in my Forensial team.
Oh, is it
I
William
think
Craig
it's
Hansen's dad?
William's dad.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. That
That
makes
would be a
sense.
guess.
Yeah.
43.
Did he play his
Just skim through from the start, see what happened.
See,
He always
it
plays his G6. Yeah,
was some sort of symmetrical. Oh no, he went H5.
H5.
What's this? He got scared and went H3 or something.
Yeah. Bishop C3.
Yeah.
Right.
No, because you haven't actually you still got the B pawn, so it's not like you're really damaging the structure.
Yeah.
I guess
He must
C4
know what he's doing though. He plays this all the time.
Or he's just bluffing, like big time.
Yeah, I mean he does play G6 against every opening.
Yeah, he does, yeah. Knight H7.
And White's got the bishop pair. We'll probably go for some sort of F5 break at some point. Just to time it. Wait, he just lost the pawn.
I mean, he couldn't defend it really. He just like.
He did go F5, but now you just lose.
Yeah,
pawn
but
in.
now you allow, G5.
G5. Okay, E5.
Wow. Is this the live position or?
Oh, no, he took and then H4, rook D7, takes. Oh, he sat the queen. But I like this for
He's
black.
pretty good though, right?
Yeah.
Bishop C5.
It just depends if black can coordinate all their pieces. Because a knight on A5 is not really doing anything, so maybe you should play knight C6.
Yeah, I mean, White's king is surprisingly safe though.
Yeah. The F5 pawn is kind of annoying for black. Like if you were to go like Queen D1 and then Bishop D5, and then there's
Queen D1, yeah.
it plays Queen D1. Okay, Bishop D5 is there. No, there's Rook D8. You can't play Bishop F7 because Bishop takes.
Yeah, you
Just
shouldn't
look
allow
like
the
this
king to
one.
run to the king side. No.
No, yeah.
It's hard to find good moves though.
Four,
Exactly.
and then move his king.
Maybe you could play like Bishop F7 and then like Knight C4.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
wondered.
H5.
This is gonna be good for white now. Maybe like black holding.
Bishop b6 now.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
bishop
Just
E6.
wins.
Well, it's only +1, so black has a move here. Although I'm not seeing. Is it like?
I guess
No.
you just play the position.
Would you not have gone rook b8 and then bishop takes a5 b6?
Ah,
Although actually the engine really hasn't changed, so I guess it wants to play this position.
somehow this isn't completely
Yeah,
completely losing.
it's just going to be a time scramble. Then they both got like not very much time.
Yeah, but he's pretty fast.
Yeah, it's not easy to win, right?
It didn't like.
Kind of a
e4.
weird fortress, right?
Now you can take on b3.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought like if you don't go e4, then the pawn on e5 is actually doing quite a good job because it's just like not doing anything, but it's not really a target. Oh, he just wanted
No.
Knight f3.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Never mind. That was a good
We
game.
can move on. We can move on. Yeah.
All right. Should we see David Hayden? Oh, he's playing Aga.
He's a big contender, right?
I
He
don't
has to.
know if he's going to play the full 24 hours like Keith, because like
Or he's just trying to get a big lead and then he'll stop and come back.
yeah, because if Keith plays the whole night, then
He literally plays, yeah.
depends who else is also playing, I guess. Oh,
Are you guys both planning to play a lot?
No chance. No
I'm
chance.
not. I played a bit today.
Are you going to play?
No, I probably can't.
All right.
But it's like, even if you're like, because I got myself up to like 10th, but I was still like, I didn't even get a chance to play any of David
To
Hayden's.
do well, you need to play probably like minimum 10 hours, like well, and then you can get up there.
I don't know like how many points you'd need to score first. Like at the moment, tournaments have been going on for like not even like.
He's really far ahead though. How's he so far?
If he's got 246 already,
How is he so
he's
far?
probably going to get about like close to 1,000 probably.
Well, if he plays the whole thing. But no, he's going to get tired and get worse.
Chat messages. Wait a second.
Wait, Stan, you stay on the board because
Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't like G4 because now the knight just comes to H4, and the queen has not got any good squares. I have to go
Yeah.
back. Maybe you can play like bishop H2, take on G4, and then like. Oh no, you can just take immediately.
take straight away.
There's got to be some sort of tactics. You like push E5 at some point, then the bishop be attacking G4. King's. It's almost like the knight on H5 is like quite a good defender. Oh, it did not like that at all.
F4 maybe?
Yeah, F4
Well, looks pretty natural.
F4 G5.
No, it
Because
doesn't like it.
What was the best move then? We can have a look. Wait. No. It's like rook G1 maybe or something to defend the pawn on G4 at some point. So rook H8.
It looks very strong for white now.
Yeah. White's king is suddenly really safe.
Yeah, like all of a sudden, all of White's pieces just became good. Like even the knight on H2 could be good.
Well, H6 is going to be annoying.
Maybe F5 now.
Pretty good.
Knight G4 is a good move as well.
Just check.
Black's going to try and get H6 in because then the H5 is quite
Yeah.
strong.
If Black gets H6, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
now yeah,
Should have gone 94. But then if you go 94, then I guess you don't really have
Yeah.
an attack.
I guess, yeah. It's not
Because
easy to go back though. If your last move was knight F6,
Yeah. Okay, now it's just losing.
yeah, you take on
You say
G5.
HG5 because then the you
Knight's hanging on F6, right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
All right, we can leave this game, I reckon,
I think so. Let's see.
if it's not competitive anymore.
Who else have we not seen? And if you have any requests, I don't know. Who's this?
Just pick anyone.
Yeah, who this is. Let's have a look at Robert Starley. He's just started as well. Who's he playing? It doesn't say.
What opening is this?
Some Sicilian, but went knight c3 or move 3.
Oh, this one.
D5.
Probably some kind of theory that I don't know.
Quite like it for black though.
Yeah, I always find it confusing when it says it's zeros, but then it like says it on one of the sides of the bar, so it's like ever so slightly better for one of the sides.
Like A6, B5,
B1 was kind of weird. It's not even like you're gonna get B4 in or anything.
B6.
Oh, that was the idea. Don't want to lose.
Bishop B7 probably. Or keep the bishop, but yeah. Who's late for the sky? Do you know, Stan?
It doesn't say on their profile. They haven't been playing for very long though, or they just haven't done very well.
Right.
Because like they're like the same rating, but one of them's got 100 more points.
We need to.
You can go for something like
Bishop
Bishop
C3, I guess.
Mm.
Try and make something happen.
Or B4,
yeah.
probably.
Yeah, it's quite typical, right? Quite a typical idea. Rook D1, he just gives up on that completely.
Yeah, but white, black doesn't have to take.
Because you take
And
the
then
pawn, and
we're
now
just
C2
stupid.
is just a permanent weakness, right?
Yeah.
In
Maybe
the
you should
long-
just play Bishop F4 here and like take some sort of control in the center. But I don't know.
Okay, cheap trick.
Yeah, don't play Bishop B7.
Yeah.
But then what do you do? Because like if you play Rook B8,
Bishop
then
F4
Bishop
for B8.
F4. So maybe you should
Yeah.
play Bishop D7.
Or take on
Maybe you
E4.
can take and go Rook B8.
Yeah,
Bishop
and then you have
B7.
exactly.
Oh yeah, because it's Bishop F4. Okay, Bishop Rook B8.
Okay. Did he blunder? Bishop F4 now?
And then Rook B7 doesn't look very good. Oh, Queen G3,
Oh,
H6.
nice.
That's quite cool. Oh, okay. You can just take that. He's going to take that first.
Has he seen it? Yeah.
All right, I think we'll move on because hopefully he'll convert that. Who's this? Oh, Luke Lau. Let's have a look.
All
at
right,
Luke.
let's see.
He's playing GM North. Oh, Andrew Brett. Oh, it
E4.
really didn't know that.
Apparently that loses.
Is there some sort of bishop takes G3 at some point? It's got to be some
Yeah,
sort of.
G4 maybe.
Yeah, because the last move was bishop E5 and queen H3, so it's like something to do on the king side.
Yeah, G4. So what? Bishop H1?
Bishop E4. Apparently it's mate in 6.
What are we missing? We're missing something really obvious.
It's got to be some sort of bishop takes G3. You just take
Oh, is
and play check and G3.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're not in time to take on D4.
Yeah.
Finish.
Bishop A1's not amazing, yeah.
Why? Okay,
I
so
don't think it makes a difference, right?
you should go G3. You can't stop mate.
Just mate, yeah. All right,
You
pretty
can try
nice.
you can try bishop H7, but you just move the king.
And it's 2100.
Okay. Wins.
Nice.
Oh, we're watching the next game. Who's this? Oh, this is Katarzyna. Assuming she doesn't play very much blitz. I'm gonna stay on this game.
Yeah.
I didn't actually mean to click on this game, but
E6. What is this?
some sort of hippo, but he hasn't actually gone B6 yet.
A lot of players here are very low rated on chess.com.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I had like a pretty dominant score in terms of like the amount of wins to losses, and I still lost about 40 points of rating. I didn't even do that badly. Like I lost against a 2200, you just lose like 20 points or something.
I watched Keith lose to an 1100 just before I played him, which was pretty crazy.
He's so tired. But he said he's doing some sort of thing where he's like every half an hour going on his like running machine or something.
He takes
Quite
it pretty
smart.
seriously.
Yeah. I think that it's probably like good prize money, but also people in the chat definitely donate because this is a really good cause. I think there should be a link in the chat as well.
I'm pretty sure you can just go !donate and it'll pop up.
Oh yeah. Tom Rendell did that earlier. E5 is kind of weird, but like
All right, so like at some point f3 g4, pretty, or just g4 straight away at some point.
But now the bishop's gonna be like kind of bad on a2. It's not really doing anything.
But does black actually have any attack? Like obviously it's really bad, but
Not really. It did not like
b3.
that. Knight b5. Knight b5. It's probably quite good.
Ah,
He's
yeah.
going knight c7 and the d6. But then maybe queen c6.
d5. What is that?
Didn't just gave
Maybe
up.
b3 there.
Yeah, probably. So what was that? So
What?
what b3 here?
Yeah,
Oh, we didn't.
probably you can't do it,
It's
right?
not
Just
letting me
take
do
on
it.
c4 though, or check, but then e5.
Doesn't like this all of a
And
sudden.
now you're like opening files for black.
Yeah, now rook c8 comes,
But
but
why
it's
is
kind of
bishop
annoying.
is so dead?
b5, like
Yeah, it's kind of like you want to like swap the queen and rook on f8 around because then like rook c8, rook b8, b5 just comes really quickly.
yeah, and white's just really slow now. With g4.
It's not
just
much of an
nothing.
attack because if you just go g4, I can just take with the bishop.
Yeah, just take it with the bishop.
Oh no, you can't.
No.
So you have to take on c3 first.
Or you can just take it on g4. I'm not that convinced that you're actually mating.
Yeah,
Okay, deep think. So
he's already got quite a
That's
big time advantage. You need to somehow get the bishop on b3 active. Okay, so the idea is probably going bishop c4, but still.
maybe b5 there.
Okay,
Oops.
bishop b3, knight takes c3, knight takes c3, and then try and trade the bishop somehow. But
Surely white has to try and get something going, right? Like g4, like f3, g4.
Yeah, but it's so slow, and you can probably just leave it.
bishop b3, knight c5 maybe.
King b1.
You maybe take some b5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't really stop b. Yeah, he just does it. You can't stop b4, and then like bishop comes to b5, and
That bishop on a2 is just a disaster. It
Yeah.
has no future. b4, bishop b5.
bishop b5, and then like queen d7, and then like try and get the rook on f8 active. Maybe go like queen g5, knight g3, like knight takes h5 ideas.
Yeah, you're gonna try it.
move my king. Well, they have to be a bit
Knight
careful.
on a d2 is loose, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good point. I'll do it quite. Maybe knight g3 first.
Pretty obvious. g4, gh5 is like the plan.
Yeah. You play like f5 here, or is that? Because after f5, like if they
F5.
take, you can take with queen, and then you're putting more pressure on c2,
And then g4 though.
and then I take on f3. Because then if you
Nice
take on
hanging.
h5,
Knight's hanging on e2 though.
yeah, exactly. You can't take on h5. So then maybe there's rook h2 kind of ideas, but
c3.
Take on
you just take
e2.
on e2.
Yeah. Okay, disaster's gonna happen on the c.
It's almost like you want to get rid of the d5 pawn because then at least your bishop is kind of doing something.
Yeah, that bishop has been so bad the whole game.
Okay, what's the win? c2 check.
King c1.
a4. You're
Oh
gonna
yeah,
get to the one.
that's game over.
All right, new game.
Pretty nice. Pretty
Well
nice.
done, Luke Val. Who have we not seen for a while? Which of these? Are any of
Let's
these guys
move down
playing
a
each
bit.
other? It'd be nice to see if. Keith's playing a 2500. Should we have a look at that?
Okay, yeah, let's have a look.
Who is this 2500?
Okay, this is a typical like
Gregor's Toczek.
he guarantees gonna win this. And look at the time as well.
Oh, yeah. Keith's. These tournaments are not good for Keith's rating. Surely he's been more high than 2400.
Yeah. I mean by the end of it he'll be even lower.
I guess with this tournament, like it's the kind of thing where you like lose 2 or 3 games in a row, and you can lose so much for one game. You just suddenly
He's gonna win this on the clock and on the board.
feels like White is
Rook
this is
h2.
quite badly coordinated.
But just taken, yeah.
Oh, but you can just trade the rook. Or is it winning? Because the king.
Well, he's got 6 seconds, so
He's winning the
probably
pawn.
doesn't matter.
Well, now you're going to win this endgame.
Yeah.
All right. We'll leave Keith to do that. Who else? Oh, Harry Lee versus Matthew Wadsworth.
Mm-hmm. Just quickly flick through. Like, what was this?
King's Indian attack. So it's d4, d5, g3.
Oh, it's kind of weird.
Like,
You can go through quickly though, because they were like running out of time.
it's a weird position.
Looks like black kind of outplayed him.
No, wait, you just sacked the exchange on a2.
What is the queen doing? What? How did they even get there?
Okay, so oh, that was apparently a mistake. No, it wasn't. I mean, if you swap the queens, who's got the better endgame? Because
Mm, it's hard to say. It seems pretty balanced.
let's say I take
depends
an
if
f5.
the
If
king
I
trying
take
to escape.
like queen f5, how would you take back? I guess you take back with, because if you take with the rook, I can play rook d7.
Okay, he wants rook f4,
Yeah. You don't really want to take because
and
if you
he's
play
got
h3,
no time though. He's just got no time.
he's going to lose on time. That's the thing with 5-0 because it's like it feels like you have loads of time, and then you think for a little bit. Oh, he's just
Okay, yeah.
this. But the time scrambles are really chaotic because there's no increment. Like if you had 3-2, for
That's
example.
just gonna be. It's not quite made, but it's good enough.
Yeah, okay, he resigns. All right, refresh this. Oh, Richard Bates versus Charles Story.
Oh, that's a pretty big one.
What was this? Oh, it was some open Sicilian.
Mhm.
What was the last move? Bishop G5 is quite cool.
So
You
he's
can't
stopping
knight
b4.
Can I take on e4? Oh no, then you. Oh no, he does it, but that's just loses.
Wait, what?
No,
Take
because
on
you
b6.
take on b6 and take on g3, and the rook's hanging on c1. No, that's.
Oh.
Yeah, you missed it, no?
No.
But that was
Yeah.
his point, right?
So what was the move? Was it queen takes g? Oh, queen g5.
Yeah.
That was tough to see. But now it's only minus. Oh, because
Yeah, because you can move the rook to
you
c2.
can go rook
and-
c2 because you can't go rook e1 because of bishop d2.
Oh, we're not on a live position. Black.
Oh,
played.
refresh it. Yeah.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay, he's up a pawn.
How about one of you two go play a game and then I'll follow it?
Oh, I'm not embarrassing myself. Go on, you play, Kenneth.
Me.
We'll watch you.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there like a search bar? Am I gonna just scroll through this for ages?
But then you'll kind of be telling me the moves.
Turn your sound off then whilst you play, so you can't hear us.
Frank, are you able to see the chat or something? Because I don't know if there's like in the other ones there was some
I
people
can
in the
see
chat.
it.
But if I go off this and you
It's
don't see
just
the
you.
board,
Saying he can't play 24 hours.
He lost 140 rating whilst being second.
really,
140.
Yeah. th-
it's crazy.
The ratings are terrible here.
Yeah, because even when you're second, you still just get paired with a lot of players who are low rated and are actually like pretty decent.
Yeah. Are you in a game yet, Kenneth?
No. Should I play?
Go
Or
for it.
we want to
Good
watch.
luck.
All right.
Let me look for.
You might just
to be fair, it
find-
might be easier for me to find him because he's got the CM next to his name, and I can just. look
I'm
up.
playing a 900.
Oh, right.
Silverback 7829.
Here
There
we
you
go.
go.
Found you guys. Oh, he's going for this. I didn't even take it.
I know. It's a bit annoying. I don't know what to do when they don't take.
Meadow mistake. It's called. Interesting. Who is this? Does their name on their profile? No, they don't.
B4.
No. Oh no, they're only on 1 point. Maybe they haven't been playing very much.
Even if you don't take the rook, though, A4, rook A3 just isn't useful then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like if they just fiend Keto, like it's
Yeah.
a bit useless.
After knight c6 in the opening, it was already like minus 0.8, even though they didn't take on a3.
Hmm.
You've got to somehow just like use the rook on a3 and make it useful.
I could take with a rook. Why not?
Might as well. If you went rook A3.
Yeah.
It's a decent move.
He's playing quite well, this guy.
He didn't even take the rook. All right, he's asking to lose that rook, big time.
I don't care. I'll give it up.
Yeah. You could have just played like rook takes f6 and like made the guy take the rook. Is everyone still playing at the top? So
Are there any
Richard
big
Bates
clashes
won-
that we need to see?
Richard Bates won that one against Charles Story.
Yeah.
So David Hayden is still playing.
He's so far
on-
ahead.
He's 64 points ahead of Jude.
Check the games. Let's see who's playing.
All right, we'll leave. No, because we got to see. Well, I'll keep watching Kenneth. I can watch multiple games at a time.
Check with, yeah. That's
Have a
true.
look at David Hayden. Then we'll see Jude after. Okay, he's just going to win this end
Yeah,
game.
5 seconds, whatever the position.
Okay, Jude is playing Mellow Aesthetic.
Keep an eye on
Okay.
it.
Also got to watch Kenneth's masterclass in this opening.
That's actually a good point.
Look at the tiny board.
Lance is, no, Lance, you can't see it.
Yeah, I'm
He's
probably I'm worse. I don't see the eval bar. Although I can click onto it, but I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, exactly. It's basically, if they keep playing, it's going to be David Hayden versus Keith.
I think Danny O'Malley decided he didn't want to play anymore. Apparently, he played a cheat. And he didn't like that. But he was quite funny when he was on the stream here. He's quizzing Zoe Varney on movies and stuff. I'm liking this quite a lot.
So he actually did eventually take the rook, finally.
How did he win the rook? Should we go back a bit? When did we leave? We left.
He was
here.
offering it so many times, eventually he just...
He just sat. Yeah. It's probably not that bad. Like I know it. Then obviously, practically, it's quite bad. But okay,
That's
now,
why this opening is like not even that bad.
Okay, now there's just somebody taking quite a
All right, we can leave into it. We trust
Alright.
him.
well done, Kenneth. Should we have a look
Here's
at-
a-
Yeah, I
geez,
think my
yeah.
position's got to be winning, but
All right, are there any like big?
What's your
clashes?
evaluation? I know
Okay.
you can see the
no, I just
evaluation.
made
but
it, so it's fine.
well done.
F4. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
This end game, we should take white or black. I know the engine says it's like equal.
Kind of an annoying move, right?
No, definitely black, right? It's-
King F6. Hard to evaluate the king and point. Look how much time he's got.
Oh yeah, he's just gonna like get a massive time advantage.
I don't know why I went F4 then, because surely you want to just keep the rooks on and flag him.
I guess he's thinking F4. If you take, it's quite a good king and pawn end game.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
now
you-
king
King
e3.
E3 now?
More. Okay,
A5.
You put like rook A8 here, but if you go rook A8, is there some sort of B5?
B5, yeah.
Well,
Or just-
then
Yeah.
surely should have gone rook E2 there. Now there's rook A2, and you can
Actually,
probably
yeah, that gets some counterplay. Oh, but this is just
This is bad. You're going to lose
D4.
equals nothing.
Maybe king d4
Yeah,
instead.
like-
but
either way. He's flagging him. He's got no
Yes,
time.
King D4 is probably more accurate because you're going to keep the B pawn.
It's kind of the same thing, like Rook B3 there.
Is this a draw though?
apparently
Like
this is a draw.
theoretically, but
Yeah, this is a draw, but
He's only got 27 seconds, so I don't think it's likely that he'll draw.
we can watch
either
it.
way,
This
it's,
is the
it's
technique.
a bit annoying. The position anyway.
Yeah. So how many points do you get for a win? Like,
I don't know. Are there streaks in
Like-
this tournament like there are on?
yeah,
Like,
there are. You get more. Because, like, roughly, for example, how many wins behind is Jude from David Hayden? Kind of thing, you could say.
if he gets on a
Depends
streak,
if he wins in a row.
I mean, yeah,
he's
he's
on
got
a
8.
zero
but-
streak.
74 out of 83 is very impressive.
Black
Wait, where
could
did the
draw.
pawn go?
If he trades the rooks.
He actually did
somehow.
make a massive meal out of
Uh-oh.
this. He's trying to lose it.
Yeah, but he's just relying on the clock.
H2 was a free pawn.
Yeah. Let's have a look at another
He's really
game.
trying to lose. Wait, just see if he. Oh my god,
Could watch this game in a second.
He's lost, but like
he's gonna win on time.
No, it's not winning.
Okay, 0.5.
You should try to cheapo the rook somehow.
Oh,
Oh, that's a nice trick.
yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Should we have a look
Right,
at this game?
technique from Jude.
Richard Pert
That's
playing
quite good.
against WFM Gobbles. I don't know who this is. Do you guys know who this
I have
is?
no idea.
There's been
No,
quite a lot of WFMs who are unknown in this tournament.
G5.
I don't know.
Okay, this just looks.
This is looking
like a
really bad.
disaster.
But apparently, it's only minus 0.8. Maybe it wanted like rookie 4 there, and you just sack the exchange back or something. But it still doesn't look very good.
Knight
he's not down an
H5.
exchange, right? It's equal.
If you can
Yeah,
get a
you
knight
almost-
f4,
Knight H5 now.
yeah, knight h5 to f4 is just.
What's the problem?
I'm not seeing one. You play queen f1 maybe, but then you're going to lose
Yeah,
the f3 pawn
That's just terrible.
because then the knight's going to come to h3. All right.
But then rook
King to
e3
c7.
and try and activate the pieces. Maybe queen f1's the best try.
I guess you have a little bit of compensation with your bishops, but not very convincing.
Yeah.
King G7. Yeah, just getting out of the diagonal with the bishop, I guess, makes sense.
Yeah. Well, you want some f5 push in the future or something.
Okay, wait. Queen F3.
It's interesting.
Why is it only 1.2?
I guess you're only up a pawn.
Oh, because you were. Oh, right. Okay.
Like
Is
when we came to the game at g6
down
f3,
a pawn,
I was up a pawn. What was this opening? Some Caracan. No, it was Scandinavian. This gambit.
One of these things.
Skip through the game. This is when we came. b4. Oh, I didn't like b4.
Yeah, we really enjoyed your rook ending technique, Jude.
Oh yeah. Who else is playing? Oh, Aaron Saunders playing Jan Morawski. Should probably have a look at that game.
No, that's Jude.
Oh, Jude versus Jan. Oh, let's definitely have a look at that.
Oh, it's one of the. Wait.
You got similar names. Wait, what was this?
Oh, Jan is black.
E4, E5,
Danish.
D4 takes C3. Some weird gambit. Kind of, no, some weird. opening.
It's like the best.
Knight B4.
It's like the worst Danish gambit
Yeah.
I've ever seen. Knight's a bit
You
stuck.
got G4 here. A G4. Knight's trapped.
Yeah, what's he done?
He plays
Yeah,
it.
he's seen it. Is there any way you can like at least mess the position up whilst losing a piece? No.
Not
My
really.
king's so safe now.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything.
Maybe if Jude gets like on a streak, he's probably just going to spend the whole night playing.
But he's
But
so
it's-
far behind. Like, how has he got such a big lead already?
How would you treat this? Would you like play throughout the night to like try and overtake people and then sleep a little bit in the morning, or would you sleep through the night and just play non-stop during the day tomorrow? Because it
You,
started today
probably,
at 5
you, don't,
o'clock.
you don't actually need to play 24 hours, right, to win
Yeah.
it. Probably
It
sleeping.
started
Is
at 5 p.m. So there's still like there's still 17 hours left. I
yeah.
don't think the winner, unless it's Keith, is going to play 17 hours.
But people will be so tilted playing at 5 a.m. or something.
Yeah, yeah.
If you play at that time.
All right. I mean, is it a bad idea to just resign games like this when you're like quite losing?
Well, I
It's
mean,
Yes, depending how much they want to play
Yeah.
in the tournament.
it's like 15 places away, but then it's like 100-point gap because he's 17th and he's second. But you're going to lose this E6 pawn, so maybe it's a bit tricky.
Not so bad.
'Cause
E7. Okay, what's the take on D5?
What do you play? Because if you play queen, I guess queen D6, because queen D7 runs into.
We
knight
just
E5.
take on E7.
Could, but if you play queen D6, what would you?
You don't want to leave that pawn on E7 though, right?
But how do you defend it the second time?
Yeah, but this is going to be an endgame, likely.
Oh
Oh, it didn't like that.
no, this can't be.
Rook
Rook
c2.
c2 and knight c4. There's b5.
I must have missed b5.
Yeah, Black's gonna have so many pawns.
Can you play rook d1 and then like, meet rook takes b2 with knight c4 to get the rook to see?
But even then, like,
maybe the king just hides on like f6. Well, not really hides, but like it's not in danger. Yeah, Jude's lost loads of rating even though he's in second. I saw earlier he was like 2400s.
okay, b5 now.
You take and defend the pawn. Knight c6.
Rook c1. Try and get some like.
There goes knight c6.
yeah,
In
Black
got
can try and win, definitely.
knight f4 now. Get the knight in the game.
Yeah, you could play like knight f4 and knight d3. Or then maybe go a6 first. Because like
Yeah, I quite like a6.
if like the knight ends up taking on a7, it's also attacking b5. But if the knight takes on a6, it's not attacking anything else. Like knight f4 and knight h3 check. Wins
Yeah.
f2. Yeah, knight f4 here.
Yeah, what does he do after knight f4?
It's like easier to play as Black now.
Can't really. Can you play king h2? Or maybe there's knight d3 at the end. Or do you get away with that? Because then rook d1 and you don't have a way to defend the knight.
You have to be
King
careful,
H2,
like not to play like knight d7 and blunder like rook d2.
If you play king h2, maybe you have to play knight d3 there.
Yeah, you're just losing all the pawns. Yeah, check.
No, knight e4.
Bit
So
of anger there from White. He quickly played king g2. And you can just feel him at the board, like, oh, kind of thing.
Okay,
No, I
just shove.
don't feel like you can lose this as Black unless you just lose it.
H5? Start shoving the pawns. I guess he wants to go knight c7 and then try and push his a pawn, like take the b pawn.
I mean, even if you take all the pawns off the board, it's probably still a draw. So the fact that Black has all these pawns, it just makes it so tricky. I mean, you have to be careful not to lose the b5 pawn, probably, because then if White is
And
the
not
pass,
get low on time, or it's just gonna be like
could be like two knights versus rook and two knights versus rook and three pawns, if you like.
wait, knight no.
Very free.
So he wants to take.
Now you're going to lose b5, so you could play knight c4, knight takes a3.
Yeah, exactly. And the
And then it'll be
knight's
three
hanging on
pawns.
b4.
3 pawns.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Rook and knight against rook and 3 pawns.
That'll be rook and two knights.
But if wait,
Like
I
if
don't know why you
sacrifice-
put the knight on the king side.
Yeah.
It's a bit risky.
Pawns are quite quick.
this seems a bit
Unless he has a mate somehow.
g5 and h4
F4.
and rook h2. That's his
Or
idea.
f4, rook h2 is mate, so
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. Can you stop it?
well maybe king h4.
I think
Looks
I
don't
play,
know.
I play king f6 there. Because if 95, I just. Oh, he.
Okay, it's just
Yeah, you
mate.
blundered it.
Oh, no, because f4, king h4, and then you have to go king h6.
Yeah.
But it's still
And
just
then
mate.
G-
G5 is a
G5.
threat.
Although
Yeah.
rook h1, can you play rook h1, g5, king h3? Where's the mate? Because it's obviously somewhere. It's mate in 2.
And go rook f3. Yeah.
Because knight
Very
f2.
nice.
That's nice.
Very nice. Wow, this went really wrong from just being up a piece.
Yeah, well played,
I
Jan.
really need this.
Who else is playing? Oh, wait, Keith versus Matthew Wadsworth. Where was that?
Okay, we gotta watch that.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. Matthew Wadsworth is now playing 1300. That must have just finished. We just missed it. Well, what's this? It's 2 2600s.
I think that's what's his name?
Tom
yeah, yeah.
Gordon versus David Hayden. Oh, what is this? Some endgame.
So you're covering e7 twice. So
I mean, maybe this is a 3-way result with the time situation. Like, White's got no
No
time.
way Black's winning.
Black's not winning this.
You don't think Black can win on time? They shuffle around for ages.
He's
I
quite.
guess
He's
you can play rook f7 and just force off the rooks.
okay, he's letting the king in though.
Although if you play rook f7, can you not still be a black wing? Because you could like say that
Okay.
if you
This has
play,
rook
D7.
and bishop against rook written all over it, basically.
yeah,
Bishop d7 and like e7, and he's gonna play
He's
that.
spending a long time. Okay.
yeah. Now he's gonna get into time trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's not.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes,
It's a pretty good way of doing it.
Fair enough. All right. Who else is playing? Who's someone we haven't seen yet? I feel
Scroll
like we
down.
kind of
We'll see.
same people. Let me scroll down because there's
Pick a
probably
random
some.
one.
Let's go
Just pick a random game.
Keith versus Jude. We're kind of watching the same people over and over again.
We
but
got to
this is-
watch some others. We got to watch some others.
What opening was this? No, D4 knight c6. Jude's old.
Yeah, this is his specialty.
Yeah, he used to play this all the time. It's
Oh,
already
he's
better.
winning a pawn.
Oh yeah, he just won a pawn.
He's already tricked him.
I guess taking Keith out his usual d4, c4 is a good idea.
D4 knight c6 is such an annoying opening to face because it's like not that good, but then it's like,
And he knows it so well. He literally
yeah, that's true.
plays it all the time.
It's quite an important match because like one of them is going to be trying to catch David Hayden.
Yeah, they're both right up there. Exactly.
Yeah. I think before we go, we should all do predictions on who's going to win.
It's got to be. Assuming David Hayden's not going to play the whole thing, it's got to be Keith, right?
Horribly.
And Jude said he's probably.
Is Jude not playing the whole thing?
Maybe also Charles Story is a pretty good shout.
Maybe. They're all very close up here. And also, I don't know how long Luke Lars going to be playing for, but he hasn't played as many games as, for example, David Hayden.
I would say Keith is still the favorite because
You know
even
who
if
this is?
I don't know,
Not the Bishop's Sacrifice.
That's Indy Southcott Moyes.
Oh, that's Indy.
he's not going to play the whole thing, right?
We should have a look at Indy's game. I haven't seen Indy yet.
Yeah. Who's he playing?
Don't know who this is. I played
Yeah, I
this
think it's
earlier,
hard
it was
to
very good.
bet against Keith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, this is looking good for Jude. How about we come back to this and quickly have a peek at Indy's game?
Yeah, sure.
In Crowded House, Philip Owen. Not sure who that is. What was this?
All right, pretty symmetrical, but
Some sort of weird. Seems like they just swapped off quite a lot of pieces.
Indy always does this.
yeah,
Yeah, it's very solid.
that's true.
Although Rook c8 maybe is.
Rook c8, and if you
You have to
I
be
think
careful
Black
playing
has
over
good chances
a6 because then you take on e7 and rook c6, and you're kind of stuck.
but you take now you should take rook takes.
Uh,
Rook c7
because then you can meet rook c7
Yeah.
with rook
Yeah,
e7.
rook e8's a nice move.
Oh no,
Yeah, he's allowing. Yeah,
f4. Oh, e5.
e5
The e5 now I can probably go king g6 and like,
didn't really seem necessary to brush.
It worked well.
Rook b7. Yeah,
No, nice. I didn't like rook b7. I think you should probably just take all the pawns on the king side.
this is pretty
What's the
like,
move, though?
convincing. He's gonna win this.
Yeah, okay, we'll see this.
We trust him.
Oh, they agree to a draw in this position.
They agree to draw.
Interesting.
Kind of strange.
Fair enough.
do they
Yeah,
lose
so-
the streak? I guess they lose their win streak though.
Yeah,
That
why
is-
would they agree? Like, what's
yeah,
the
now
point?
that they're not. But David Hayden also lost his streak because also the draw with
He's
Tom
so-
Gorman.
He's still playing. Yeah.
Yeah. Who's he playing now? Oh, he's playing Connor Clark.
Oh, tricky opponent,
This-
but he's
this is-
completely winning. He always seems to be up like so much time every single game.
All right, he'll win this. We should find some people that we haven't watched yet.
Yeah, we're just watching Jude, David Hayden, and Keith.
Yeah. Who else? Oh, Frankie, you're not playing.
Yeah, had to quit.
Frankie,
While I
go
was
and
up.
play a game.
No,
Okay.
no chance.
You
It's
probably
too
play one of the
risky.
top people. Is this Vincent Sarg? Yeah, it is.
Just pick a random game.
No, it's Riz. Playing Jim Wad. Yeah, this is. Okay, he's up a piece. Never mind. One of you guys pick a game. I've been picking all the games.
Just pick
Cool.
literally any of them. It's fine.
I've played this guy so many times, and I was lost in all of them, and I managed to win all of them. So
So what's going on?
he's quite good. What is this? White's up.
So I guess
White's
bishop
on a
c6
piece.
is gonna win.
It's kind of one of these funny things where the knights are just paralyzed, stuck defending each other. Like
Yeah,
F3.
bishop c6.
Yeah.
Because also you can't move the knight on d2 because you just play on. Obviously now the bishop's on c6, but a8 and d8.
Yeah.
So the knights are like stuck.
Seems
But
pretty
now-
over.
Now just a8 queenish. Game over. Okay. Never mind. Maybe we should just stick to the top ones. No, we've got to go
Yeah.
again. Oh wait, it's like a group here we haven't really seen. Let's have a look at Richard Putt.
Yeah, sure. Who's he playing?
He's playing.
What is this? Bishop
Mike
C4.
Gordon. D4.
We're
D4.
Black Mardim again.
Oh. Oh no, he didn't play Bishop F4.
I guess he's trying to win games really quickly with these openings.
Yeah. Kind of thing you could go wrong very quickly.
Well, e5 maybe.
Yeah. He's asking for h5
Just
and
trying
now
to tease him, yeah. We're already doing all right now.
Yeah, probably best off playing Bishop H7 and then.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, but now this structure is really unpleasant to
You
play.
take?
Take in G5 and just lock the pawns on the king's side, and it's just like gonna be really unpleasant to play.
Maybe he has to go knight f6.
Yeah.
Probably
Can
then
you
still G5.
Or maybe Queen E2, because then. Okay, C3.
Yeah, you don't actually need to change the structure yet.
And then Queen comes to B3. I didn't like Queen E7.
He said he couldn't be bothered to play against Keith, and he wasn't on a streak. Yeah, but you need to catch up.
But you were up a pawn. There's no reason to accept a draw.
Yeah, but
guess-
Keith in an endgame, even down a pawn, he's pretty dangerous.
Yeah. Maybe Keith would have found a way to win that.
Well, you want to get onto other opponents that you can beat quicker.
Exactly. Okay, this is already looking quite good. And we haven't got very much time left, so we should probably have a look at some other games quickly before we run out of time. So
That's a good one, yeah. Matthew
Oh,
Woods.
wait, Matthew
Tom
Wadsworth and Tom O'Gorman. I haven't seen much of Matthew Wadsworth.
Maybe he hasn't been playing that much.
He's on 89 points. So, and Tom
Not that
O'Gorman's only on 4. So we'll assume that he hasn't been playing for very long.
So he just started playing when everyone's going to be really tired. which is
Yeah,
quite
it's actually pretty
sensible.
smart, and he's going to just play all
So that,
night.
wait, does that mean his first game was against like David Hayden?
Is he just going to like play all
Maybe.
night and catch up?
Probably. We'll probably like wake up tomorrow morning and then like
He's at
he'll
first,
be,
yeah.
like above Jude and Keith.
E4? Or rook
This
B4?
game's nice for I mean actually you are up a pawn.
It's
He
gotta
wants the
be
king on
winning.
F3 and then like rook B6.
Yeah,
'Cause he
because
can't
Rook
get
B6 and F5 and try and
He
win
wants to mate him,
H5.
yeah.
Yeah. Because if the king isn't on F5, then you can try and win the H pawn and then create.
Seems a bit unpleasant for black. Like E4 at the right moment. Okay,
Okay,
king
this-
F3?
Don't.
Yeah, you're kind of walking into the mating net.
Yeah. But black is
Yeah,
also kind
F5
of
here, right?
F5 now?
Yeah, I should just go F5.
King F4? Or rook
And rook
H6,
H6
yeah.
as well.
Well, maybe if you go rook H6, there's rook C3.
So maybe it's just king F4 now.
It goes D4.
Oh, D4 is pretty nice.
Quite
There
smart.
could have been some rook C3 counterplay at some point.
And
I
also
guess.
black could play D4 themselves.
Okay, but you
Well,
just
black
take.
was in a bit of zugzwang.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
And now you
king
can go
F4 now.
king F4 and just put the king on E5 probably.
Yeah, he's gonna win this now. We'll stay till the end and see how he does it.
Black's also got no time.
He's really good at this. He's a bit of an endgame grinder as
I
well,
would have thought Matthew Wadsworth's rating would have been higher. Maybe he's lost loads of points in this tournament. I don't know.
or just doesn't use it.
Yeah.
Black. F4. So H7, he wants king F5 to try and be a bit annoying.
Yeah,
What
but
about
then G6.
Yeah, G6, nice.
Oh,
G6.
What's he done? He's just gonna flag him.
No,
though.
Wait,
that's
what was
winning.
what was the draw? So apparently there was a draw if you don't take. Is it
King
King
E4 maybe?
What about
No,
King,
then you hang Rook E8. Sorry.
King G6? Please, the draw. But never mind, he lost.
Oh,
No, he lost. Okay.
Lance joined.
hey Lance. We probably have time for we got a few more games.
Let's have a look. If we see any good pairings.
All right, let's go
Indy's
to the
playing David Hayden. I feel
Yeah,
like we're
we'll
watching the
see
same
that.
people over again. I think we should watch someone new. Oh,
We could watch Connor Clark.
We say that every time, and then we just watch the same people again.
Yeah. Yeah, but there are some very nice games. Pairings.
Yeah,
Like this. I would have
he's
thought.
definitely a shout for winning it. Charles Story, right?
Is he
seems
playing the
pretty
whole
cool.
thing?
He seems quite committed.
Yeah, but
All right, there seems to be some theory they both know.
how many players are in the whole tournament? Let's show us.
279, it says.
279. Yeah, David Hayden is still playing. Sure, who's he playing? He's playing
Let's see.
Indy.
Oh, this is a pretty good game.
Well, they're just in some main game.
Let's see how this pans out.
All right, someone's going to win this, though.
Yeah.
Probably White's a little bit more... It's a bit more pleasant.
Well, after
Yeah.
King D6.
The knight on B6 is pretty useless. Yeah, he's got to go back.
Just go
Bishop
put
C8.
B6 94 possibly. Or 94 here. But B6 is also fine.
Try and go G4 maybe. G5. Gain space.
Yeah,
A5 maybe? Yeah, G5.
B5 is good.
He's a bit
Nine-
weakening though, right?
994 maybe. Because then if you move the king to defend it, knight C3, and there's like
So King E3. Probably King E3. F6.
F6. Where's the knight going?
It's almost out. No, you got F3 and D3.
Yeah.
Now F5 maybe.
Yeah, he's kind of outplaying him a bit. Like,
H6, F5, F4.
Maybe A5 and put the pawn on A4 and win
Yeah.
A3.
Oh,
but A4? What's his idea?
Kind of
just leave the pawn
provoking.
there, though.
I feel like you should play A5.
Or he wants Bishop D7 at some point, like A5 and Bishop D7.
Yeah, but now white should play A5 because it's going to be quite
Yeah,
hard for
true.
white to. Although maybe you're allowing King C6 actually and King B5.
King D3.
How do you make progress with white here? Because I was
As long as
black.
he doesn't get too low on time, yeah.
Bishop D7.
Yeah,
The
'cause if you-
A5?
if you
Then
play
knight
A5,
C3.
Okay, he has to play.
Yeah, but then the pawn's going to be
Because knight
weak
C3
on
is coming.
A5
yeah.
eventually.
Yeah. Knight D2. I mean, you kind of you can't. You can play Knight C3, but then A5 definitely has to be played.
Knight C3 should go.
The only option is The only other option is taking A5, but maybe F3. Then
Can he
like
not
F4
take?
possibly.
He can't. He doesn't want
F4.
to take the knight.
Yeah,
Yeah, F4 maybe.
G3.
Yeah. Yeah, this is knight C3. What?
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh, I see. Now
Yeah.
F3. Well, the bishop was quite nicely placed on D7 because you could have just gone knight C3 and just won the A4 pawn.
H6 now.
I don't think white's much worse anymore.
H5.
No A5.
No,
He's
bishop
not really that
C8.
much worse, were you? This whole
You should go
game.
bishop C8 because if you go A5, you lose the pawn.
Yeah, but
And
then knight
knight
F3
C3,
check.
Take a Knight B3 though.
Knight F3.
Knight F3 check. And then it's a race.
Yeah, he might go for that.
That's what we want.
I mean, the thing is, he's not like desperate to win because he's so far ahead. It's not like he's on a streak that he needs.
Yeah. Can you try F3 here? Knight E6?
Seems a
I
bit-
guess bishop
seems
D1.
Knight E4 as well, maybe.
No reason to put your pawn on that square though. Okay, it's probably going to just be a draw. F3. Don't really like it, but because now you get the E3 square, like King D2, King E3. Oh, the knight's trapped. What can you? You're gonna lose that. The knight's got no squares. H4.
Yeah, maybe you can win enough pawns on the king
Yeah,
side.
like Bishop G6.
Yeah.
Possibly.
But then knight f4 maybe.
Yeah. King
But
D2.
then king d2, king e3. You're gonna win 2 pawns, either h5 and d5 and f3.
We want to see a bishop and knight, mate, though.
What's the move for white here, though?
Bishop f7,
7.
king b6, king d2 takes, king f3, king e3, and then
Probably, yeah, you're escaping. You're getting enough pawns. Yeah, King
oh, that was apparently a bad move.
King D2.
Yeah, I should have just went king b6, I guess.
All right, you're escaping. But wait, can white try and play for like more? Probably not.
Yeah, definitely try and win.
Yeah,
Yeah, after knight
because worst comes to worst, you just make him do a bishop and knight. Mate.
king f4.
King F4 now.
The king's gonna come in and then
Kind of asking for trouble.
yeah.
But nah, it's gonna be a draw.
White has chances, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, if
definitely.
anyone's gonna win, it's gonna be white.
No,
Don't
it's just
take-
gonna win the pawn.
Play bishop f7. Yeah, good.
Take. Knights don't like playing against like H and A pawns, so no.
How do you stop the pawn?
Maybe just try and take on g6, bishop c2.
But then the pawn's running.
Bishop g8. And if king f6, bishop
Knight g4. Okay,
Yeah.
bishop. I want to go bishop f7. Yeah.
bishop
good try.
h7. Bishop h7, you just repeat. Bishop g6,
Yeah,
g8.
we'll just see this game. We'll just
Yeah.
finish the game, and then.
For sure.
But
Okay,
Yeah.
Giving up. All right, we should do our predictions just before we finish.
Keith.
Yes.
Defo Keith.
Yeah, Keith probably. Oh, David Haynes now playing Yan.
Mhm.
Right, I'm going to get everybody on the screen.
Finish screen sharing.
Hello. Do I have everyone on? Right. Thank you. Thank you very much, you three. It was
Thanks a
really,
lot.
really nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, enjoyed your commentary and learned a lot, obviously.
Cool.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Sleep well.
Bye.
Or good
Bye.
luck if you play any more games in the arena as well.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll follow them. Okay. Alrighty. See you. Okay. Let me hide the right people and show the right people. Okay. Hello. 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 Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. Good evening. Hello.
Hello. Nice to see you all. Okay, I'm going to straight away share my screen. Mhm. Right. That one, I believe. Not that one. Not that one. Let's share this one.
Sammy says hello.
Yeah.
by the way.
Simon, are you in a
Hello.
zoo? Is there a cat behind you too?
Yeah. There's a few
I
llamas
can see a
waiting.
dog. Yeah.
Yeah, a few moments. That's right. So,
Okay.
okay. Should we get going? Get cracking?
Let's get going. Can you
So
see?
perhaps maybe if I might take a central role, and if Natasha switches between, but firstly introductions, I guess. Yeah. So okay, I'll introduce myself. I'm Simon Bibby, calling in from Japan. It's a nice morning here. I've had my brekkie, so that's me. Former junior international back in the day, Japan champion a few years ago, and I'm here in Kobe. Okay, Natasha, maybe introduce yourself. I'm sure everybody knows you, but go ahead.
Yes, regulars of this channel will know me. I'm Women International Master Natasha Regan, also author of 3 chess books now. So Game Changer, you might know, Chess for Life, and the latest Zwischenzug. Game Changer and Chess for Life were co-authored with Matthew Sadler, and Zwischenzug co-authored with Matt Ball.
Cool. That's on Chessable, isn't it? I think that's right. Yeah.
Yes.
So, super. And over to Michael Harris, former Brummie, former British under-18 champion, and now the greatest in Norfolk, I think. So, Michael, please introduce yourself.
Well, I think you've done it for me, Simon. Go ahead.
Right, thank you for joining us, Michael. Yeah, thank you. It's a bit later, isn't it? And thank you. And Lance, we've not met Lance, so I'll do a shake hands on screen. Hello there.
Hello.
So, Lance, please introduce yourself.
Right. So I'm a South African chess player. I played at junior level until I was 17 or so. And then I moved over to the UK about 3 years ago to pursue my studies in music. And since then, I've nurtured myself to become an international arbiter, which is the highest title a referee can get in chess, and as well as an organizer. I organize multiple tournaments in the London area for all the chess players up to the level of Grandmaster.
Super. Good stuff. That's all of us. Thank you very much. And thank you to everybody online joining us here at whatever time of day or whatever place in the world. And let's get cracking with the games. So, Natasha, who are we watching here? And what's been happening?
We are watching. So we're watching Dave Hayden is black in this game. He is, I believe, leading the whole arena. Has a very, very good score. And he's up against Jan Moravsky, who is a very strong junior player. Probably Mike would know him. And Lance would definitely know him. And so he's like fast improving and very dangerous player.
Okay. And what's happening in this game? Let's first count the pieces, shall we?
It's looking very straightforward for black at the moment. So what with the exchange up?
Black has, yes.
So there's a pin on the queen and the rook earlier on.
Pressure on the e-pawn here. Yeah, doubling perhaps on the e-file. Oh, there we go, f-file. Okay.
I was wondering if it could go
rook e8
f5.
won the pawn, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because rook cannot go to h3 because it's just being taken. So that would have been the case. Yeah, I think so.
I should say that David's quite a special player, especially in blitz time control. He is, he can swindle anyone out of it, as I've seen recently. He's beaten some grandmasters, so not just online but over the board. So he's a very, very good player.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jude in the chat. Appreciate that.
So black's got to try and break down the pawn structure, really. I was wondering if white could hold with something like rook g2 to g3, just to hold on to the e-pawn.
You're playing going for a sort of defensive approach then, like?
Well, from a white perspective, yeah, it's trying to hold on, isn't it?
Zoe will be in August, September. It's coming. I have been assigned to organize a tournament for women. So look out for that.
Are you, Lance? That's a norm tournament.
Well, that is the goal, but I will try my best.
What's that going to be like?
Zoe's after norms and Badalna will be after norms.
We want to get a WIM tournament. Yeah. It will be end of August, around between the 26th until the 4th of September, somewhere in between those dates, 5 days before the Olympiad.
Oh, super. So how can people contact you if they're interested in participating?
It'll be on the ECF calendar and basically all the calendars, and we'll put it on results websites so they can see the tournaments and the live player lists. And we have contact details there.
Okay, good stuff. Right. So, and it's just a quick look at the game again. Black kind of snaffed the pawn on g5, I think, and
going on.
There's white's barely hanging on, hoping for cheapos perhaps. Even before the pawn was dropping, black had chances of opening up on, as Michael said, trying to open up on the queen side with a5 maybe, and also pushing the h pawn before. But now the pawn has simply dropped.
So White's got to, I think, manage time a little better. So there's only 22 seconds left, and there's no increment, of course.
Aha, right. It's just a straight 5, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm.
So Black's got
David's
oodles
going
of
to win
time.
this. No,
Yeah,
no
White
doubts
has-
about that.
Yeah.
I think this game's pretty clear now. So maybe
Yeah. So can we shuffle over to something else?
Whatever. So
With all due respect to White hanging on, but is
There we go.
Keith
Resignation.
entertaining people with rook and bishop endings so far? or-
Yeah. We've had quite a few. So this is Katarina
That's
Thoma,
Yeah.
who is White here, woman grandmaster, against Carmel Jane, who I don't know who it is.
I think I played against Con Jane or whatever that name is, and I won earlier.
Did you?
But no bragging rights.
Oh, but I think Carmel Jane has been playing has been having some good results in this. I can't remember exactly who she beat, but yeah.
So Carmel James is the person's real name, or is this kind of a
No, we don't know. I don't know.
caramel flavored
Couldn't tell
camel?
Yes, I don't know. But Kata, I do know her. A very strong
Oh, my
player.
cat's joining us as well now. Goodness me. Right.
If
So
you
what's
all
happening?
ever get bored, don't feel afraid to ask any questions of like cases you would want to be answered in a chess tournament. Anything to do with the rules, because that's what I
We
specialize.
have a rules expert here.
If you are interested, I will try my best to answer.
Yes.
And Michael Harris here is an expert on life, love, and I think Delia Smith cakes, being from Norfolk. So anything on in those.
Oh,
topics as
Delia's is a fantastic restaurant. Definitely recommend it.
Right. So so Delia's with us today.
You can't miss it. It's attached to the Norwich City ground.
Right. Delightful cakes and pies, I'm sure. So the position here. So White's got a bit of a centre. Equal pieces. Black's trying to swap off on the A6 bishop to the bishop on D3. White's preventing this with C4. They're basically both going to hold on D5 at the moment. What's
Actually,
White's
this play-
plans for progress?
D takes C4 though.
Yes, it's good play from Black. So the weak piece is the white square bishop, which Black has now actually given some play to. But obviously, I think there's going to be a swap off of pawns in a moment.
Horsey Chess says it's Carmel Bowick.
And do we know the ratings roughly of these people, the ECF or FIDE ratings? Do we know who's the favourite?
I imagine Kata. She's like 2200 plus 20, maybe.
Right. Okay, she's pretty handy, certainly. Okay.
Yeah, close to 2300, I'd say.
Oh, she's many times international for the Europe,
Yes.
the England women's team. Yes.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Sure. So yeah. So White's going to lurch towards the king side. Rook, bishop, the other rook coming over maybe, and Black's got to try and do something meanwhile. The Black Knight can go to F8, holding things.
I'm sure about C5 because maybe you can take off on D5 and then get F5 in. So
What about
CD,
Bishop H7?
ED.
Bishop H7,
Yeah.
H3.
Here was
Oh,
Bishop H7. Okay. Oh,
that's looking quite.
I think that's the yeah.
So Rook H3, F6. I think is the only move.
So I think he's suggesting
Rook
was Bishop H7 first, King takes Rook H3, and just going for just a straight
Yeah.
8 on H8.
King
and all
G8,
H7.
Queen H5, F6.
And then F6 there, right? Sure. Can. Aha.
Seems
Okay,
like
maybe
it's
just go into your F5 idea. Oh, it's taken off here. So White's
okay,
winning the
Carmel about
pawn, at least.
1900.
Ha ha ha. So Black can. Okay, White's just taking a pawn, just claiming to be pawn up. Perhaps see the rook coming to D1, the knight coming to C4. Doesn't need to press F5 immediately because maybe
Yeah,
just hold the
not-
pawns
not
on
now,
E5 and F4.
So it's quite
just
nice for
claim
White. It's a nice square on
Queen
C4.
G4, E6. Looks promising.
What did you say, Lance?
Queen G4 followed by E6. E6 is always a is a move to look for.
Yeah, I guess currently black might play knight f8. The idea being, after queen g4. But okay, black's played queen g6 anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, the threat queen g4. I think black may have played knight f8, and then if e6, knight takes e6, covering the g7 square. So queen g6 is played, and plonk a knight somewhere. Okay, there we go.
Knight c4.
The other white rook's coming up. What's black going to try and do here? Knight f8 to e6. Ooh.
Yeah, improve the knight.
f5. Yeah,
Don't
okay.
do that way. But you could take it, but then just queen takes.
Yeah. So the knight takes, queen takes, and just the other rook to d1, and then queen to c4. Yeah, I mean, white's just a pawn up with a good position. Black's
Looks very good for white, doesn't it? Yeah.
yeah, feeling a bit cramped as black, I think.
And Cutter's taking the
Over
a-pawn. He's got a
Yeah.
big
But given up the d5, is there anything black can try and do with that? Perhaps not, because white's rook's just
I
going
don't
to
think because
d1.
she can always bring the knight back again, can't she?
Yeah, yeah. And white's threatening. Is there any direct threats? Yeah, it's probably just a free pawn, isn't it? Black's position was inferior, so yeah. Okay, so what
switch games?
other things to look at, perhaps? Other
Yes.
extravaganzas?
Tiger's playing against Jan.
Oh, sorry, say again. Welsh Tiger and Jan.
Welsh
Okay,
Tiger. Yep.
let's do it. Here we go. Which is Gregor Tokczak against Jan Moore.
Yes, it's a little difficult to see the names at the bottom on the screen. Well, I've just got a very small computer, perhaps. But who are these people? Sorry, and who do we think is the favourite?
Think
Welsh.
Murawski.
So Welsh Tigers, Gregor Tokczak. Jan Moore is Jan Murawski. So Gregor's slightly the higher rated, but Jan, as we say, is a very fast improving junior player. So who's better at blitz? We'll have to see, won't we?
Yeah, sure.
I think this is fairly straightforward, isn't it? So isn't the knight on e5 quite vulnerable? The rook's going to f5 next.
Yeah, and it's queen for what? Queen for rook and knight. Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. So
There we go.
Welsh Tiger won that one.
Yeah, things were just collapsing on e5, weren't they?
All right.
We've got David Hayden versus Alexander Matlack. That's a good one.
Let's do it. Okay. So you will have seen Alexander Matlack on the stream earlier if you're watching between 7 and 8 tonight. And he's a Ukrainian player now living in England, and he was telling us a lot about the difference between Ukrainian and English kind of chess playing.
Uh-huh.
Right.
And this is just 3 pieces, 3 pawns each. So is there any chance to do anything? What's the times here? 2:31. Black's got no time.
Yeah. Black's gonna
Again,
run out of time.
David, very quick as he is. He's
You
like
have to be
me,
quick.
very much.
That would be inhumanly quick, I think. Yeah, I think Usain
Maybe
Bolt
not
might be
CM
slightly
Fletcher.
struggling. Yeah. Something superhuman from Black here would be required.
Yeah.
And there we go. Time is up. And
I was
White wins on time. Yeah. Okay. Equal position perhaps, but it's a rapid game. 5 minutes.
Right. I'm going to check
Okay.
this one because this is Story Sniper against Outspanner.
Ooh, c4.
Oh, we have a pin on the D. Oh, look at this. Interesting. So knight. So allowing an attack on his queen, but the knight attacking this.
Very clever.
queen with check. So a mutual queens on prise on the board. And so,
So
what
perhaps
is
White. Yeah, what's happening? White just
We-
queen e1 or queen,
queen e1, yeah.
and then knight e5. Oh, but then the knight on the. Oh, so
Queen
queen
e1,
e1, then
queen
Black
c7.
plays what? Queen c7, perhaps.
Yeah.
And
And then, as you say, knight e5 would be
Then
fine.
the g2 is on
Oh, yeah.
queen. Ooh, what's happening? Queen c2, queen c. Okay,
Ooh,
just
right. Oh, resigned. Okay. Oh, but couldn't you just recapture that?
queen f4.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
I failed to follow. Perhaps he just needed to go to the bathroom. It's
Yeah. He didn't want to be on the stream.
yeah, the kettle had just boiled. Some other priority, perhaps. Things to attend to. Favorite telly programs coming on.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. That's a bit of a pity, but yeah, Mr. Sniper there gets the point. Okie dokie.
Who do you want to see? Let's see.
So, Simon, what time is it there? Where you
It's
are?
what time we know? It's 8:20 in the morning. I've had my brekkie, I've had my coffee, so I'm ready to go. Slightly different over there, so yeah, a Saturday night, Sunday morning. It's simultaneously the night before and the morning after, isn't it? Would have been scary in our youth. Yeah, so it's. Have we had any other international folk joining us, Natasha? People from over. We had a few from America last time, I believe. And how about this time round?
In the stream?
Yeah, this time round. Yeah.
Yeah. As I say, we had a couple of people, and we had from Ukraine. Actually, it was a nice session with people from Ukraine, and there was journalist Emil, who had been shot in the first couple of days of. He was like working out in Kiev and got shot and had to be rescued from Ukraine, and now he spent a long time recovering, and now he's gone back out there. So very brave guy. Peter Heine Nielsen was on. Yeah, and not any Americans, I think, but yeah, people from.
Super. Yeah, I mean, also this is a global event, so I think anybody can participate in theory. Yeah,
that's exactly right. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. Okay, so let's again back to the game. What's happening here?
So this is Rusty Bridges against Nebodar Matovic.
And let's do the pawn and piece count. So black is a pawn up, is that right? Pieces are equal. So any compensation?
Bishop G5 now, maybe? Because if C5 straight away, then Bishop G3.
Yeah.
And the Bishop.
Now, I actually do know Rusty Bridges, and what I know about him is that he is, in a couple of weeks' time, going to play his first ever over the board tournament. So he's played online before, but never played an over the board tournament.
Oh wow, that's fantastic! Yeah, it's become a thing, isn't it? People kind of learning online and becoming quite proficient online, and then ultimately, doing IRL in real life. That's right, over the board. So, best of luck, certainly. Yeah. Do we know which tournament you're playing in?
Yes, it's a tournament in Luxembourg. Which name I've forgotten, but it's a weekend tournament held in a very nice, place, and I think you can. It's not. I wouldn't exactly say it's a drinking tournament, but it's a sociable tournament.
Okay, it's friendly rather than necessarily alcoholic.
Yeah.
Okay, a nice way to express things. Right? Yeah. Okay. It's perhaps better to go overseas in a cold church hall somewhere in Ashford, but. Okay, so black, white, as you suggested, Michael. So white pinned the bishop, black retreated, bishop e7, knight came to f4.
Oh dear!
Pushed back by the pawn. Knight it's just falling off, isn't it? Yeah. Okay.
Oops. Free knight.
Okay, let's
free piece. So
okay,
looking pretty handy for black. There, piecing the pawn up, and there we go. So shall we look elsewhere? Any requests? Lance, you have a favourite?
He is playing against this untitled. No, it's a title player. It's a FM versus IM. I cannot.
All right, let me find it. Go on, Lance. Say it again.
So Wad Z is facing against FM with the name Bear.
Ah, yes. Okay. So Matthew Wadsworth against Bear.
Bear. So I can't see very clearly. BARE or a grizzly variety? Is this nudity or is this something scary?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Hold on.
Okay. So this position. This is a curious position.
Very strange.
Pieces all over the place. Quite non-standard opening. Piece count 4 for white, 4 for black. Pawn count 7 each. So in theory, material equal.
Yeah.
No idea what's happening in the position.
Well, next
Bishop's
week
on
is on
C3.
freeze, right? Because this one's on.
Yes.
But also
the-
that
Yeah.
one's
So that one's on. That one's on. So the knight moves back to f3, or presumably rather than d3, which would be a horrible pawn structure after black takes. So knight d3, knight f3, then black goes to g6 or e4. Oh, just taking off. Okay.
What's his
Right, yeah, and black takes. It remains equal on material. Black's knight on the ace. Well, people just need to
move that one out of the way and done this one.
It's.
But
I think
yeah.
it's maybe slightly better for black. White's double pawn and the pawn on g4 a bit
bit
unusual.
loose, a bit- yeah.
That's an extra pawn.
Yep.
Not for long because you got bishop g2 coming up, and then the
Yeah.
pawn's already pinned on a7. Oh, waiting for it.
Yeah, both sides seem resistant to developing.
That's good play
Yeah.
from white to break up the pawns.
Yeah, absolutely.
f4 was good.
Mhm.
Those pawns seem quite loose to the king.
Okay, and they emerge in a rook and pawn ending.
Huh.
Wow.
King's happy on f3, duck back to f2.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of time for both.
Mm.
Take on
White's-
a7. Yeah. So what do we think of this? White's. Well, all rook and pawn endings are drawn, right?
Yes, as far as I'm concerned, certainly. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, to explain that from Natasha, because people watching that rook endings are just notoriously difficult for both sides. So there's an old expression that all rook endings are drawn, because few of us have the technique to do anything about it. Yeah, I don't know what's happening here. I
Unless
thought
you,
you were rather
unless
stronger
you,
than me.
unless
What's
you're
happening?
Keith. Keith
Yeah,
is-
well, Keith,
look at them.
All at
Keith's bread
one.
and butter, isn't it? Yeah, he pays his mortgage with such things. That's right.
I think black's got the upper hand here. I mean, maybe the king's going to get into h5 for black as a plan. You can even then just play f3 next move and try and swap off that pawn.
Because currently white just has to sit there.
Yeah. Maybe trying to get the king back.
Oh. Somehow pawns dropped off. So
Yeah.
I think we
Yeah,
should
so-
move on. This is just very drawish.
yeah,
Unless-
I think so. And the time situation is
Yeah,
both
plenty of
have
time.
plenty of times. There's nothing dramatic there. So perhaps, yeah, should we
Okay.
move elsewhere?
All right. Should we see Frankie? Frankie Fagioni, who was just commentating just now. He is taking on Alexander Matlack.
Huh.
And so Frankie's played quite a quiet setup, hasn't he, with his fianchettoed bishop here.
These kind of positions are quite safe for black. There's a lot of central pawns. Difficult for white to find somewhere to get in.
Yeah. So for the moment, black can just hold his king in the center, perhaps. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually is the king just going to stay in the center, or could black be half contemplating going queenside? But
I think
perhaps just stay in the center. Yeah.
after h5, I think the king would have to say somewhere there now. If you castle kingside, the h5 pawn would be a target.
Yeah.
Queenside might be possible. Actually, castling queenside.
Yeah. So black will claim the g file, looking at the bishop on g2, which also means the knight is a little bit stuck. Can white?
Queen
Ooh,
h7.
what's happening? Yeah, queen h7, knight f6. Okay, so blocking off. I mean, this is a nice central move, but also blocking the long bishop, which was looking at f3 and g2. So rook g4, looking at the f4 pawn. Also maybe preventing white from blocking with knight g5 at any point. So that's a handy square. Does white need to defend the pawn on f4?
I was wondering about
Just
knight
lurches forward.
h2, and then if you take on h4, then queen g3.
Looking at g8 and you're not rook on f4.
Yeah.
Okay, so black's going to try and claim the g file now, looking at the g2 bishop and the king.
Maybe go around. But you use that one in the middle. You use this one.
Yeah.
Okay,
Not,
so White's got to try and do something.
not sure
toward the black-
B4 is the plan. Maybe King H2 might have been better than Rook
Yeah,
G1.
and then Rook G1, and they're trying to hold on off. But this is
This isn't
the
looking
pieces are
good.
flooding in. Mm,
It's getting better and better for Black.
I
it
mean,
seems
Frankie.
it seems to have gone a little bit wrong for White. That's right. Yeah. So Black's
Yeah.
F4 move earlier was quite cute, kind of opening up the G file. Yeah.
Yeah.
So White's hanging on for dear life. Is there a way for Black to crash through at all? Perhaps not yet. King B8, nice sensible move in such a time control, getting out of the way of the Rook on C1.
Because Black
what's the
could
problem
start
with?
taking here.
Yeah, because you're
Yeah,
eventually going to take on E4, right? But first
Yeah.
you want to take on F5.
yeah.
Why would he play King B8?
I think it's just that it's a typical kind of safety move for such rapid time controls, and then the position's so good that it just avoids accidents.
You actually don't have to do anything really for Black.
Yeah,
it's in complete control.
So okay, so
Wow.
so pinning not. And the time situation, both have plenty of time available. Okay, White's at the back, all the way at the back. Reminds me of a Karpov Kasparov game from the King's Indian. I think it was the same-ish back in the day, from about 9. When was that, Michael? You can remember. Natasha, maybe you remember? Like 1984, 85 or something. It was,
Around then. Yeah, around then.
yeah, all Karpov's pieces just ended up at the back. It was just an absolute horror show. So poor lad as White here, poor Frankie, he's hang on for dear life, but he's still not down. So there's pieces left on the board. It's a rapid game. So Black.
I'm looking at Queen C6 here, followed by Queen E4.
You're trying to take this one.
The Queen C6 is, and the King can't even go to H1 at any time because Black just takes the pawn on H4 and goes back. I mean,
my thoughts were Bishop H4, then taking on E1, and obviously then the Bishop on G2 is going. I'm not sure how you defend the Bishop with that plan.
Yeah, because the Rook can't go to F2. Okay, so Rook. Does the Rook just shuffle?
Yeah, just back.
Just simply back to G.
Sideways. Okay. I think White's in some trouble. Okay, he's bringing his knight out.
Black's just vacuuming up everything.
Yeah.
Hoovering up, that's a brand name. We can't say that, can we? Right, so White's making moves on the queen side, hoping to survive. Queen B6 pinning the knight on F2 and just holding the B5 pawn and just looking at the dark squares because White has no dark squared bishop. Possibly a knight coming into E3. Can the Black bishop come round maybe to F6 to D4, to G5 to E3, G5 attacking the C1. The knight is pinned on F2, so the rook can go to G4. Bishop's coming into F4. Even the pawn coming H4 to H3 even. Black's been playing well this game. And there we go. White's had
I feel for Frankie, he's down to 24 seconds there. So
he's
thinking about everything, and his opponent has so much freedom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Black just played very nicely there. I think
very easy.
All right, I'm dropping in on Book Trunk, who is playing White in this game. And what I know is that she is playing all 24 hours. That's her plan. So she's streaming and gonna play all night. So good luck to her. And so she must be already, I would imagine, already quite tired.
So do we know the person behind Book Trunk? Can we give her a shout out maybe, as I believe young people do about these things?
Stephanie Gelder.
One more time, sorry?
Stephanie Gelder.
Stephanie Gelder. And that's on Twitch or somewhere else?
On Twitch, yeah.
Right, okay. Right.
And I think the channel is actually Book Trunk. So if you look for Book Trunk and say hi to her.
So it's a book trunk being a large box of books rather than an elephant's. Okay, anyway. And that was a draw. Perpetual. Black has an extra queen, but simply the king cannot escape from all the white checks on each
one other person that I think is streaming all night.
I once actually tried doing the full 24 hours 2 years ago.
Did you? How did it go?
I did 20 and I came fifth. So very proud. But anywhere above that, I mean, I got to 4 a.m. and I was done. I had to sleep. So, but
it's not just staying up all night; it's concentrating on the blitz as well, right?
So, what's your chess like after 20 hours?
I can't swear, huh?
Let's keep this clean for the youngsters watching, yeah, right. And for our parents who are watching. I think my parents are watching. So
I'll be honest, like getting sleep, even if it's a couple of hours, it saves you, because when you get to like 3 or 4 in the morning, your chess is really, really taking a toll. So when you get up and you have some fresh games, it takes a few games to get back into it, but it quickly goes downhill after there. A few hours of sleep's not enough.
And how long did you sleep for after 20 hours of chess?
Oh, a good 12 hours, I think.
Yeah,
at least. Yeah.
I can imagine it.
So do we know who else is doing the full 24? Did a few people notify you, Natasha?
Yes. Sorry, of the streamers. Yeah.
Simon, just going back to your mum and dad. They are watching, I believe. So hello to Anne and Steve.
Yeah, hello to my mum and dad back in Blighty. Thank you for staying up. And yep, hi mum, hi dad.
I've also just heard my brother's watching from back home in Durban, South Africa, and he's I think
so
a few hours later.
Is it a couple of hours different? Is it there?
Yes, I think 1 or 2 hours later. So shout out to him, to Kenton.
Yeah, so hi to friends, family members, and yeah, everybody watching. Okay, let's have a look at this position then. So what's the situation here? Equal material. White's got the D file, the only open file available. Can Black counter that D file? Just opting to ignore it. Okay. Black shuffles the king across, presumably.
Slight advantage, White, isn't it, with the D file?
Yeah, White's coming into D7.
Yeah.
Black can't interpose on C7 because the bishop on F4. Yeah.
So maybe White's getting into D7 after B5, then Rook A7 and trying to double on the 7th.
Yeah.
Something like that as a plan.
You'd think so. Both players have plenty of time available. So why isn't Rook not going to D7 yet? Oh, there we go. Okay, finally. Okay, yeah, and as Michael said, yeah, so Rook's doubling, Rook to B7 or
Rook A7, yeah.
But then does Black try and counter with Rook D8 after the Rook goes to B7?
Yeah, you can.
But then White just simply has an extra Rook on D7. And Black's Rook is passive on C6 if they swap off.
So the pawn on G5 is clever play from Black. It stops the White king getting into F4 and then getting the E4 pawn.
And also stop the space gaining potentially with G5. That's right. So yeah, that was good play. How to make progress? Well, what's Black's idea now? Black's got to try and think how to hold or how to try to hold. So White's plan is Rooks want to be on open files, and they want to be in the 7th rank to attack pawns, generally, as we know. Rook on the 7th also is helpful for people watching because the king is often on the back rank. The king can often be kind of cut off. So Black's the Rook drops because the bishop on G3, and that's game over. The fat lady sings.
Yeah.
There's another plan there, I think, for White, which was maybe
he's getting tired.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, these things happen. Yeah,
the minority getting.
Okay, this is another player, Duke of Bedlington.
So what was that, Natasha? Sorry, what was?
So the Duke of Bedlington is another player who is streaming and playing all 24 hours, and I think he's done it before as well. I think he's maybe even done it 3 times. Yeah,
played him a few times as well.
Have you played him? Yeah.
I have in the midnights as it goes on.
And do we know if this is a
There was
genuine
a
Duke?
stream once, I think
Um,
he was on with all his mates and they were drinking. I forgot, but I think it was on the commentary once.
Ah,
okay.
okay.
Soft drinks, one hopes. Just a light cordial, perhaps. Yeah. So this Duke, do we know if this is a real Duke? Is this somewhat related to the royals, or is this just?
I don't know about that, but I read on his Tiltify that he's from the Merseyside area.
Ah, I see. Okay. Slightly disappointed, perhaps, by Klopp.
Bishop
going
c5.
No.
Ouch, and that's the bishop's pinning the queen.
Yeah, but he's already been playing like 7 hours solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it does.
It's what
going
it
to be
does.
exhausting, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, I want to see this game. Alexander Matlack against Jim DZQ. Woman FIDE master. We don't know who it is actually. We were speculating in the chat before. We're not sure.
Interesting in game.
Yes, another rook and pawn endgame.
Very level, yeah.
Again, for people watching, chess games often end up as kind of the rook and pawn endings. This is fairly common, and minor pieces, the knights and bishops often come off earlier because they develop earlier, and the rooks tend to come out a bit later. So it's pretty common for chess games to end up as rook and pawn endings, which are fiendishly difficult. So in this position, White's got a kingside pawn majority. That's 4 versus 3 on the king side. Black has an extra pawn on the queen side, a queenside pawn majority. So verdicts on the position. I don't know about endings. Michael Harris, what do you think? Tough question.
Fairly level. Fairly level, I think. In maybe slight advantage to White. So now taking off on c4, and if rook takes, king takes, rook e4, then the king gets into b5, and he's going to start to hassle the black pawns on the queen side. So that would be a plan for White.
Yeah, so White's king is marginally more active, and then becoming increasingly more active in such a position as Michael just described.
That's good play from Black not to allow that to happen.
Yeah. So here, Black is trying to hold off the white pawns, the pawn coming to e5. White's king on the other side is holding off, Black pushing on the queen side. So
what?
And Black goes for the dark squares. Is he going to try and look at the e4 pawn, the h3 pawn, or?
So it's good play from White. Try and trade a rook, and then the c4 pawn is even weaker.
And is the e4 pawn, is the e5 pawn rushing?
I think now it's taken on c5 perhaps, or and then rook into d7, taken on f7.
Oh, this is an interesting move, isn't it?
Yeah, so Black's taking back and then king f6. So
taken on d5.
Take,
and then taken on g4.
Oh.
And then I think rook d7 is possible, maybe.
It's a biggie.
Taken on g4 first, yeah.
So rook d7 seems to be a considerable threat. So king f6 allows rook d7 take king back to e7. So king f6,
or maybe fe king f6.
Takes king f6. So that's a big choice Black has. Take the pawns off, then king f6 or king f6.
Because if you go there, you just take, and then you stay inside the square.
Yeah, that's right. The king can cover with back to e7, and the pawn cannot promote on d8 because king takes. Yeah. So that's a fundamental choice that Black has here, which is not easy to make in such a time control and after many hours of playing.
But rook d7 was a threat there for White, which would win.
Yeah. Ouch. So rook ouch. So rook c8. Okay. Well, take rook g7 check, and then there's pawns dropping, but is there enough pawns dropping?
I think that's winning. So e7, rook c8, rook f7 check, king e6.
I think this is Abigail Weersing.
But e7 rook
e. Okay, wonderful.
It might be, or Batia Kanwal, one of them. There's only a few names, and the others are.
Yeah. But then we have got a few WFMs. Who did I mention before? I've now forgotten.
I think we found Mary Gregorian, but that was a
Yeah,
different.
no, but there's another. There's another. I'm just gonna. Oh, I'm showing my screen. Can you still see the right thing?
Yeah, we can still see the game. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So in the game to establish the progress, the white has an extra pawn on the queen side. 2 versus 1. White's going to try and take the pawn on c4, in which case it would be a win. The pawn's not going to stay on the board, in which case white has it. King takes is. Oh, this is a notorious position. A theoretical draw, but incredibly hard to do. So this is, for people watching again, F and H pawn or A and C pawn, so the rook pawn and the bishop pawn is in theory, I think, a draw, but just a nightmare.
I think
very strong grandmasters have lost this.
Taking on c3 with the king would just to keep 2 pawns together.
Better. Yeah, keeping the pawns together would have been much better and no risk. So this is a slightly surprising choice from white to be going for this.
I'm sure white's going to win this because of time.
Yeah, black's only got.
Yeah, there's black has no time left, so white can just shuffle, nudge forward, and white just kind of
maybe not. She's pre-moving quite a bit.
This is the thing with the pawn split. It's really difficult to make progress.
Yeah. And
rook takes rook.
Or king c5, king d6.
Yeah.
And white has taken
the opposition.
And there we go.
Okay.
And that's game over. Yeah, it was tough, particularly in such a time control. Okay, well, white did well there to convert. Okay, next game. Shall we
Richard Bates is playing against Quick Phoenix.
Oh, which one were you after? Let's see.
So one more time, Lance. The player is
Richard Bates.
Richard Bates, right? Okay, I remember him from many years ago. Right, okay. I think I played him in London Junior at some point. Draw. Richard Bates as white, yeah, and black is. Do we know that? Do we know that the person behind the login name?
So it looks a Benoni setup.
Yeah, this is what do we call it? An old Benoni, Schmidt Benoni? I forget, but this is classic play from white. These kind of pseudo Benoni positions, yeah. Oh, sorry, this is a regular Benoni. The pawn's not on c2, so regular Benoni. In Benoni positions, black wants to play on the queen side. White wants to push e5, possibly f4, but here just that e5 is coming. The knight on b4 is controversial in such positions that, okay, it seems to be in white's camp, but also the argument is that it's not actually doing anything on b4. So it's a big decision for black whether to put the knight on b4 in these positions. White's pushed e5, as is normal. The white d pawn is now free to run through. The f7 pawn is weak. So this looks a bit tricky for black, do we think?
Yeah, I agree. I think white's got the e5 break in, so would have the initiative.
Yeah, and we see the black knight on b4 is simply just offside here. It's not involved. The white rook is coming into d1 to support the pawn. We can see this is a little bit hairy, isn't it? Black's on the back foot. This pawn is a monster. The bishop on h2 is kind of tucked in. But this is actually quite a useful piece, the white squared bishop on h2. It supports the d6 pawn. Perhaps black can even forget about that, unfortunately, in such time control.
Natasha, I think you asked a question in the chat.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see the chat. Sorry, I've not looked at the chat.
The request was from Mrs. Marple's game. I had a look and I didn't actually see it, so we'll go there next if we see her.
So black succeeding in swapping off a couple of pieces. The black knight is still a bit ugly on b4. The pawn is still a monster on d6. Thoughts on this position?
To your point, Simon, the knight on b4 actually does nothing at all.
Yeah. I mean, this is, I think it's an ongoing kind of argument in these positions that black often kind of puts the knight there from a6 typically, but it finds itself just kind of stuck without places to go. So what black has to be wary of such a kind of pseudo-active idea. It's a common issue in Benoni's.
Looks like this knight does have places to go, doesn't it?
I agree, Natasha. I think that's the plan. So maybe knight e4 just to improve the knight.
Yeah. So black swapped off the dark square bishop. Black, when you're slightly struggling, it's often a good idea, supposedly, to try and swap off pieces to try and kind of neutralize things a little. But yes, this knight is strong on c3. Black's dark squares are a little bit airy on the king side there. The f6, h6 squares. Knight can come to g5 to undermine the bishop. The knight's coming back in. Ha ha! Maybe to d4 to try and block. But then perhaps white can just
Queen
swap
f4.
off. All right. Yeah, I mean, if Queen f4, and if the knight comes to d4, perhaps just chop it off even. So Queen f4, threatening a knight f. Threatening what, Michael?
Well, not if
that's the problem with Queen h6.
Yeah.
Queen h6, knight g5 look quite devastating.
Ouch. Yes,
yeah,
indeed.
You're right. Yeah.
Just the direct approach. Yeah. Go for the king.
Because black can't get f6 in because of the bishop.
Yeah. I think absolutely. And the
Well,
queen
you
can't
can
come
go
around.
h6 if you go queen h6.
But it's good play from black. So the knight now, all of a sudden, doing nothing on b4, is having quite a big impact on d4.
But I think you're right, Lance. I think Queen h6 was just a killer because black can't get the pieces over to defend. Absolutely, it's But white didn't play that, so knight g5. Looking at the e6 bishop, looking at h7, with perhaps Queen h4 coming. Black moves it, attacking the rook on d1. Can black try and extricate in some way? Oh, interesting choice. Removing the knight on d4. White has the dark squares
F6,
and the big corner.
F6,
then rook e7 threatens queen g7, mates. The knight can't be taken.
Or queen h4.
So yeah, so f6 we're thinking rook e7. So the
yes.
Black f6 it seemingly forks, but yeah. So rook c8. The rook was doing nothing on a8, so reasonably he tries to get this into the game. Perhaps rook c1 to d1, looking at the pawn from the back, is something that he could consider. Rook c1 check, of course. Then again, rook d1. White's lining up.
Yeah. Now, how are you breaking through? Maybe knight just back to there, because then when it comes in here, it's going to be big.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
So what, f5 perhaps? Ooh.
Oh, it's still going knight f6.
Mating now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Surely, yeah. And then uncover knight e8 or knight h5. Knight e8's cuter, perhaps.
Not yet.
So for people watching, so the king on h8, the queen is on d4, the knight on f6, blocking the check. So if white moves the knight out the way as now, it uncovers a check on the black king. And black's had enough. Yeah,
I know who you're talking about. I think but it'd be too late for her now, I should think.
Yeah, we do. We very much need to understand the tiredness of these people. That was nicely played by white. Kind of a nice Benoni thematic kind of e5 push on the big d pawn. Okay, next game. Do we have?
I think. How about this one? Story Sniper.
We got Frankie is playing against Keith.
Oh, should we see that?
Oh, right.
There we go. Frankie and Keith. Oh, guess what?
No. It's another one of those end games.
I suspect many people watching will be familiar with Keith already, but for anyone who's not, perhaps anyone in another country, Keith is a very strong player, playing for many, 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 many years in the UK, winning hundreds of weekend tournaments, and he's particularly known for his endgame prowess, particularly rook endings, which is hence our reaction. And here he is, a
This
pawn
is
up.
just a strangle.
Yeah.
It's an doom.
So black's a pawn up here, pushing the big E pawn. The black king is strong on f4, supporting the pawn and supporting the other pawn. Is this enough?
Yeah, I
Probably.
think so. So what? Just e3, king f3, e2. So now the rook stays on the third, I think, and then moves across. Maybe rook b3 or something.
I think you're just forming a bridge here, aren't you? Eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be careful not to repeat. No, okay.
In the time situation, white doesn't have much and black has plenty of time. So it's just about what's happening on the board. There's no worries about people being blitzed.
He's
So
finding
what-
some good resources, except he is using quite a bit of time, and I think that's going to be the downfall.
Yeah.
Maybe
So white's
if-
harassing from the back. The rook checking the black king and also attacking the G pawn. So the king has to kind of keep defending. Or the black king can go to f4 and the black rook can go behind with rook d5 and rook e5. But then the white king can nudge across and it'd be interesting to see how
you can't infiltrate this. Sorry, I'm just saying I don't think it's possible to get forward without giving up the G pawn. Yeah.
Okay.
I think Keith was calculating e3, which just seemed to work now. So e2 next, and then the rook gets into e3 to cut off the rook.
Yeah.
So rook
Can't
f8
read the
check
backwards
is
either,
that's
can you?
right. There we
Yeah. that's-
Yeah. So to explain for people watching, if white goes to e8, black just puts the rook on e3 and the pawn pushes next. It blocks the rook and supports the pawn.
Okay.
Next. But
What
you guys will
about
be sleeping soon, I guess.
Nazareth?
A few more minutes.
I'm just a bit curious before we move on here. Why wouldn't you just go rook f8 and then rook e8, and trade the rook for the pawn and then try and run with the h pawn?
I think the king goes to e3, then to d2, and then your queen. The white king
rook
can't get
cuts
past
off
the third,
the king,
third
right?
rank.
Yeah.
So that you'd be pushing the pawn on its own, and black can just allow it to get to h6, for instance, and then go back and get it with the rook.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, to your point, if the king wasn't cut off and could go with the pawn, then yeah, you could potentially white could sacrifice the rook for the black pawn, and then the king and pawn can go up the board together.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see Nazriz. Now, Nazriz, Mike, you will be familiar with Nazriz because you both play in the same, that arena.
We do.
Yes, both play in the same for the English chess players in there.
Yeah.
Oh, but Nazriz looks to be in some kind of trouble here.
So is the rook going to drop after? Oh no, the rook's on.
Oh,
The white
there's
rook's
also a
on
rook
three on
there's a rook.
d1.
Yes, sorry, I spoke too soon there. There's lots
So
going
the
on.
rook's hanging on d1, but it can be defended by the queen on g4, for example. The rook can't move because then the bishop would be taken on d2 by the queen on c2. So check, king d7
It's
can
not
go
gonna be
back
up
to
to
g4 with
change.
tempo.
G4, yeah.
And then, well, the king goes to c7. Yeah, okay.
White is a rook up here.
White's
Oh,
rook-
counting.
yes.
That's a good
Okay,
point.
and-
I wasn't even looking at that.
Oh.
That's a fairly fundamental point. Thank you, Michael.
Just
for
a
being
case
able
of
to
holding
fund-
on to everything and coordinating the pieces, and that's game.
Yeah.
Okay, so that should be it. All righty.
Okay.
Here we go. I'm just picked a random. Symbol shift out spanner. And what are we? Oh, black's a piece up.
Huh.
So
Okay.
2 pawns.
Sorry, for 2
So-
pawns. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Stick with it for a
So
moment.
there's a bit of compensation.
Yeah, so white's going to try and lurch forward h4, g5, h5 kind of thing. But the pawns are connected. So pawns, again, for people watching, pawns connected kind of help each other to move forwards. Pawns separated can only work by themselves.
Oh, uncovering the attack.
The black knight hasn't got a lot of activity at the moment. It's just a bit of a target. So that's playing into White's favour. But I think White's just dropped the H2 pawn.
He's taken it.
So knight H6 and the knight. Yeah, the rook on A8 and the knight on H6 kind of handily cover the G2, the G pawn pushing. I mean, he could just put something straight on G8 for safety. But then the bishop's coming to H7. So, well, the knight on G8 is safe enough, isn't it? White.
So maybe as a plan for Black, as you say, Simon, just to stop the pawn on the G pawn and then just try and swap things off, get the king across to the king's side.
Yeah.
And take the pawns.
That makes sense. And does the bishop want to go to H5 to F7? Kind of consolidating. So the rook on B8, looking at the B4 pawn, White presumably defends it, or he can push B5, or he can. Okay, knight rook G6 with.
I guess you could just defend, just blockade.
Yeah. Does White want to play the other rook coming to G1? Can White play some F5? No.
Maybe knight bishop F5. Maybe.
Yeah. So bishop. I mean, do we worry that the
Yeah.
There's not that many pawns left on the board. So.
White just needs to play quickly.
Time's going to run out.
Yeah.
I think in this position, you just play the moves you need to play. So the knight goes to G8 just to block the pawn, and then you can play with the pieces that you've got active.
Oh. Right.
So what, rook? Yeah, rook E1 to E6, looking at the H6 knight and the D6 pawn, but then rook knight F7 is not possible because the G8 promotes. So, yeah, I think rook E6 would have been better. Okay, Black's looking to C2 pawn.
Maybe should
have. So it's all a bit hairy.
Pawn can actually queen, right?
I think, yeah, the pawn could have promoted, couldn't they? Or take on H6 and promote. But yeah, it's about time, isn't it?
Okay, how about let's look at. Oh, we're at 1 o'clock actually. We will stop. What I'm going to do is I am going to do a raid, and we're going to raid Book Trunk because she's playing all night. So let's raid her. Okay, so if I get my commands right. Sorry, before we go, I should say a big thank you to you all. Lovely to see you, and thank you for commentating. And I'm going to do raid Book Trunk. So let's go and say hello to her.
What's a raid, by the way? Old codger here.
What it means is we and all the audience are going to. So we're going to end this stream. And we're going to go and see. We'll be taken to be watching Book Trunk stream.
Oh, I see. So while we're kind of while you guys are sleeping, while I'm off doing my thing, then a stream continues connected to somebody else. Aha! I see.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to do that. So we won't be off air immediately, but what I'll do once we've done the raid, then I'll shut down the stream. So let's see. Raid has been created. 4 viewers, 9 viewers, ready to raid Book Trunk. 20 viewers, 27 viewers, 41 viewers. And now we're going to raid now.
Do we say our farewells before we go or after?
Oh, that's it. We're at Book Trunk. Okay, we're going to say hi.
It's going now.
Hi, Stephanie. Okay, and I'm going to end the stream.
Okay, well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, people watching. Thank you, Michael, Lance, for joining us, and lovely to meet Natasha again. And maybe, guys, see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. See you next
Good luck,
time.
everybody. Take it easy. Thank you.